All right, what's going on? Good morning, 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 good morning to Turn. And if anybody else is in here, and also good morning to Black. What's the word? Also, good morning to anybody that's going to replay the show today or listen back to the show today. Justin Crummel. Buenos dias, hermano. Buenos dias, hermano. For you all that don't know, I play music for the first 10 minutes of the show. Like a little introduction, warm up, make me feel a little better, and then we'll go ahead and get into it. Get into it. Oh, my shit loading slow. Inside, get it, money, let's get it. Strip it up and pay it. Do it cause I want to. I don't need your credit. Let me on the credit. Get it. Can't get it. I'm bitch on the post. No, I go up by the week. Real motion. I can really play the game. Ain't gonna have a hand. I'm sitting in the face. Potato with everything going. No diamond tip and everything flying. I'm sitting in the booth. Get away from them. I'm a different vibe. And live like it. Can't be on the ground. No poster. Motherfucker in my hand. No poster. Turned up. Young nigga. I'm the most. Should have I see it up on the boat. Put it down for it. Looking like I'm so down. I know how to hit the game for the coast. I know you a whole nigga so well. Get it done by myself. Your coach. Thunderstorm, I come out, I'm so scared. I think I'm ready for a double nigga now. You know, can't cry, I got to switch all and hold my head. I've been fucking on more before the deal. When I'm done and I'm leaving, she knows the deal. I feel hold on, I'm really like I'm more still. I need racks every day, this shit costs a deal. Yes, I'm back on the socket tour. It was an outro, it can't like a soccer tour. I've been dead over for keep my practice for. Throw a 60 on my walk and I run a little. Try to make me a lot off the love. Now, couple zips to that raw, he's blood up. Head up shop anywhere, I get going up. Treat baby around this farm stuff. Pushing pack with drugs. New York, rich jacket, addicted to blue bucks. Different mind frame, I grew up. Really missed the letter, bitch, too hurt. Pretty shit, the better now. Who first? Bro, another swing of the worst. Shit, I don't get the sleeping giant walker. I don't get the super little baby fans, bro. Push curtains when I'm blowing in the go. These folks talk right out of the zoo. These 2025, the loose. He can shit with Peter, Bruce Lee. Run on here, pack. Loosely, riding in a cat, red key, go and check the stats on old shit. Yeah, check out the jungle, survival little. Big shoes on the bar, she likes it. Let's get it, yo, smash, so click clock, 80 birds just to see the check of both TikTok. So materialistic, so well connected, just asked about, so well connected. All day, don't get no sleep. I'll keep it on different 4 times a week. I'm fucking a trash lips, nigga had the lunch of the I'm gonna read a BMW, imposters. I can go and ball out to those 50 in the trunk, yeah. Agent, what's good with you? Yeah, I did see that. I was actually gonna put that in the title because I want to know what people thought about that. Josh, good morning, brother. Good morning. I put the hood just to check my dome. Long truck, first one head, toe, the head, the kicks, master. Black t-shirt, air mask, screw. Watch that ain't master chain. Jordan's on the feet, snowman, the name. First shot the base out through the fold on it. Got a Civic, got a Lamborghini gold on it. 2005. Can't tell already throw those pieces, y'all. It's where's the white, the tape is black. What else? The way to go and the real is back. ABSTR. Shoes on the cross. You like.
Travers on the combine at cornerback. At corner.
Little mama wanna holler at a pimp, my money too straight, I don't walk with a limp. It ain't hard, girl, just use your head. I like stacked up, I got colonial bread. Young chain, get the store right. Purple mango, yeah, so exotic. No punchline, no riddle. I'm talking white squares with the steps in the middle. You know me, like the glue with the bag.
This is the last song, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Lori, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Much love. Much love. This is the last song, y'all. Then we gonna start. This is the last song that we gonna start it. This is the last song that we getting started. Knicks are combined on 5 against top teams. Warriors and Mavs. That game was really good. This is the last song, y'all. In the latest drop, I got stopped by a lady clock.
She got me thinking I could date a cop. She baby man, she put me in the pot. She got a body like she said I had the right to remain silent. Now I gotta hide it, sounding like a silent. Talking about yeah.
And she know I'm the, and she know I get a bud the law. She know I'm from the street, and all she want me to do is talking about. And when I'm in this, I make that body. I make it say. Make sure y'all liking the video. Make sure y'all liking the video. This is the last song. This is the last song. Make sure y'all liking the video. Make sure y'all liking the video. And after we got done, this song is way too long. I ain't gonna lie, this song too long. Emergency only. Burn soldier only. Beat it like a pop. I ain't trying to be violent, but I know that her love is timeless. Mrs. Officer, I know you what your name was Mrs. Call. This is the last song, y'all. This is the last song. I made that body. I make it stay. Like a cop call. We. Make sure you all like the video. Make sure you all like the video. Good morning to everybody that's in here. Good morning to everybody that's in here so far. Cop all over. Got your battery to hold her. Training camp started today. I'm locked in this season. Can't nobody tell me I'm locked in this season. Listen, good morning to every single body. Music typically stops at 11:10. That song was just dumb long. That's my fault for even picking that song. But good morning. I'm feeling blessed. Happy Thursday. It's another day to be able to sit right here in this chair and be able to talk sports with you all. Make sure you all subscribe to Facts. Well, I'm all over the place. I don't even start right there. Welcome to the best show in the world, first and foremost. Welcome to Facts and Stats, daily sports show, as you all know, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We start the show off the same way. If you're in here, I need y'all to do me a solid favor. First and foremost, make sure y'all like the video. Liking the video helps the algorithm out for a random person that's surfing on YouTube to come across this platform or come across this network and be willing to tap in, be willing to subscribe, be willing to join the stage, etc. Make sure you all comment throughout the show today as well. I read every single comment for the most part. Obviously, if you have a question or you want your comment to stand out a little bit more, you can definitely utilize the super chat feature, which I will explain in a second. Which typically that's what it's utilized for, to be honest. Sorry, hold on. To join the stage. All right, there we go. Make sure y'all comment throughout the show. Also, make sure you all share this out with one person today. If whoever it is, significant other, family member, friend, whoever. I'm pretty sure if you share it out with the one person today, they'll be willing to come back in here another day. Either talk on the stage, type in the chat, whatever, and be willing to be a part of the community. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Super duper close to 1,000 subscribers. Super duper close to 1,000 subscribers. Can't thank God enough. I feel it coming, and I'm pretty sure it'll be here pretty soon. Sitting at 865. So if you are in here, you're not subscribed, make sure you all hit that subscribe button. We'll greatly appreciate that. Also, there's 20 people in here at the moment with 5 likes on this video. Can at least 5 to 10 of y'all hit the thumbs up button on this video for me real quick? At least 5 to 10. Also, if you want to extend your support for the platform, which a lot of people went out of their way and did so, thank y'all for that. You can start with becoming a member. How can you become a member? It's the link in the description on this video. What is becoming a member? Basically, just extending your support for the platform, showing that you rock with me on a month-to-month basis, as long as your membership is recurring. You also have the ability to send customized emotes in the chat. You also have the ability to see podcast episodes early. You also get discounts on merchandise, etc. It all depends on what level you choose. You also get VIP priority and playback, etc., etc., etc. Again, the link is in the description on this video to become a member. Also, you guys can send super chats and super stickers at any time throughout any show. The amount don't matter to me. I'll be grateful regardless. It can be $5, it can be $2, it can be $12. I'll be thankful. And as you see at the end, all extended support is appreciated. Fact and Stats on other platforms: Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Twitter will never be forgotten. That's where Fact and Stats started at, as far as the show purposes. It's at Fact and Stats _. The link in the description on this video to follow as well. Twitter is important. Twitter is the most important because Twitter lets you know when I do end on YouTube and I do shift to playback, you know to head to playback. But sometimes I just end on YouTube and there's no continuation. So I think Twitter is really important to follow. Also lets you know where the show's going to be live at every day, Monday through Friday, in the morning time. Instagram and TikTok, I distribute clips to the podcast episodes that I do record to those platforms. I have been picking it up a little bit on the podcast side. Recorded 2 episodes in the past 2 weeks around the Luka trade and also previewing the Super Bowl. I will bring in another one around like March Madness. So I'll be reaching out to probably like BJ Chan, Tiz, West Goods, whoever that'll be down to come on and talk about some college basketball. That's probably my next episode, if I had to guess. That's probably my next episode. Also, Fact and Stats Apparel. If anybody's ever interested in any Fact and Stats Apparel, it's pretty much all I wear for the most part. The website has been backed up for the past week or two. Made a post office run last week, Friday, and still down to make any more. If anybody wants to check out the website and get any Fact and Stats Apparel, feel free to check out the he didn't get an invite to the combine. Feel free to check out the Fact and Stats website. The link is in the description on this video as well. For any Fact and Stats Apparel, would appreciate everybody that has Fact and Stats Apparel. Also, I'm now marking this day. I'm starting to tell y'all on February 13th. February 13th, as of now, the Fact and Stats Cookout is June 21st. This will be the 3rd annual Fact and Stats Cookout, and this might be the biggest one. No lie. I'm talking about live games. I'm talking about photographer. Talking about inside out. Like it's going to be that type of vibe. Year 1 and year 2 was both great. Both great for year 1. Year 1 was great because we had a lot of people that was like, yo, what's your Cash App? What's your Apple Pay? I just want to send you this. I want to send you that for this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like year 1, I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like people willing to do that for me. I was super duper grateful. Year 2, Shaggy extended his hand too. Super duper grateful. Year 3 that's my favorite number. This got to be the biggest. Like this got to be the one. Like, and I got to be more sober. If you know, you know. I got to be more sober. So June 21st, as of right now, is the date. Could be changed. If it does change, it's literally only going to the following weekend after that. It's going to be in June. I didn't know June 14th. I didn't know Father's Day was the 15th, so he moved it from the 14th to the 21st, and it only could get changed to the 28th. It's going to be 21st or the 28th, but as of right now, it's June 21st. Who playing 1v1 this year? Hopefully, it's not Shaggy and Gifted. Shaggy and Gifted should not touch a basketball court. Respectfully, Shaggy and Gifted should not touch a basketball court at all. At all. At all. But yeah, that's the Fact and Stats website. The next biggest thing about Fact and Stats is the Fact and Stats playback room. If you are not a part of the Fact and Stats playback room in here, I need you all to join the Fact and Stats playback room. What is playback? If I don't know what playback is, you just telling me anything. Playback is where we watch live NBA games at every single night. Live watch parties every night. As we know, all 30 teams was in action last night. We got a couple more teams playing on some back-to-backs, obviously. I already scheduled the 2 games that'll be probably most curious about. I don't think the Warriors are playing any starters, actually. So I don't think they're playing. I seen a report from Steve Kerr after the game that we're not playing our veterans. Like, nigga, y'all not gonna make the playoffs now. Like, what are you doing? Like, y'all just lost to the Mavericks. I don't care for the back-to-back. Y'all need this win. Like, Steve Kerr tripping, bro. He's tripping. So this probably be the watch, to be honest, right here. But OKC and Minnesota is gonna be heavily watched. Ant versus SGA, and then the last game will be the Clippers versus Jazz. It might be ugly, to be honest. We'll see. So that's it. A couple of games today. Make sure y'all pull up to the playback room. The link is in the description on this video to join the playback room. John Doe, Facts, you're a real one. You're a real one. I'm about to start calling you by your real name. So that's the Fact and Stats playback room. Next, you got the Fact and Stats gambling Discord. If anybody gambles, feel free to share your plays in the Fact and Stats gambling Discord. I would love to see it. And then who sold your parlay? Let me fact check this real quick. I got mad. I deleted the app. Yeah, I got mad last night. I deleted that. I might take a break again, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Every time I tell myself I'm not gonna gamble, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, I get carried away. LeBron James, 18 points. Lakers, money line, no. It was LeBron, actually. LeBron and the Lakers. That's what sold the parlay. Now I'm thinking about it. It was LeBron and the Lakers. LeBron and the Lakers sold the parlay. Hold on. LeBron and the Lakers sold the parlay last night. Now I'm sitting here thinking about it. Who am I to think LeBron and Luka can get shit done? He says Scam Dude will do that to you. You damn right. Scam Dude is actually a good name for it. You damn right. Like I be making money on TikTok and I give it to FanDuel. Like I make money on TikTok and give it to FanDuel. It is what it is. So that's it for me. I don't know if anybody else in here gambled. If anybody gambled, feel free to share your play in the chat real quick. Where does Jalen Hurts rank on your list going into next year? I had him at 6 when Shaggy asked me that question yesterday. Shaggy made a case for him to be 5, and that's fine too. If anybody wants to say, "Hey, Hurts is better than Herbert," that's cool. It doesn't bother me. I had him at 7 going into last year, and I got him at 6 as of right now going into this year. And yes, I had him at 7 going into last year. Like, most people didn't even have him in the top. Some niggas had him at 9 and 10. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, Hurts is right now with that 6 for me. As of right now, he's the best quarterback in the NFC. But I do truly believe, and knowing you, I know you know football. I think you think Jaden Daniels will overcome that too. I just heard you giving Jaden Daniels some praise the other day. I truly do think within the next 2 seasons, if not this season coming up, Jaden Daniels will be the best quarterback in the NFC, 1,000%. And that's no shade to Hurts. Hurts is a dog. Like, you know I like Hurts. Nigga, I've been the one that was telling you Hurts is good 3-4 years ago. When you were saying, I gotta see it, I gotta believe it. Like, man, niggas. And now Shaggy acting like he the biggest Hurts fan. I like it, man. Niggas know what's up, bro. You had him at 6-7 last year? Okay, yeah. Are you putting him over Herbert? Are you putting him over Herbert process? You said the Eagles going 3P? I don't know about that. That's a bold statement. They have the roster and the flexibility to make multiple Super Bowls back to back. You think he's fine now? Okay, over Herbert. Yeah. If anybody want to say, hey, he's over Herbert now because how Herbert's season's been going, whether it's the regular season and playoffs, that's totally understandable. I respect it. Like, I don't got no pushback for that. Like, I'm damn near right with you. I'm right there with y'all. If y'all want to put Hurts at 5, I'm right there with y'all. Like, I don't got no problem with it. But the Dak combos got to stop. The Matthew Stafford combos got to stop. One of the biggest, he's a good quarterback, but one of the biggest Jazz quarterbacks, Jordan Love, the shit got to stop. Niggas was putting Jordan Love at 5 going into last year. I ain't forget. Some niggas in here were putting Jordan Love at 5 and 6. I ain't forget. Y'all niggas ridiculous. Y'all niggas, the Jordan Love Jazz gotta stop. Dak Prescott gotta stop. Matthew Stafford and Jalen Hurts gotta stop. Like, all that shit gotta stop. Now, one quarterback I jazzed up was CJ Stroud, who's a good quarterback in my opinion, but he's not even better than Hurts, respectfully. So that's on me. I jazzed up CJ, and a lot of us did, and put CJ in some talks that he shouldn't have been in yet. Accountability. I was wrong. Hurts is better than CJ too. All them other guys, they all behind Hurts. Love was hurt. Yeah, Purdy got to stop. But that's only come from 49er fans. But Purdy got to stop. Got to stop. 5 is crazy, Brandon. 5 is crazy for Hurts, Brandon. Where you put, hey, Brandon, where you put Hurts at? Where you put Hurts at? Where you put Hurts at? I wouldn't take any other quarterback. I wouldn't take any quarterback over him in big games. That's fair. I wouldn't take any quarterback over him in big games. Yeah, again, number 5 is crazy for Love. I mean, yeah, as an Eagle fan, that's fine. And I think that he showed consistency in big games. And also, more importantly, he showed how to win the big games, you know. And I think some quarterbacks have not shown how to win in the big games. And I also think that it's a facts, Ari. I also think that it's tough because, like, you got to think about it. It's so hard, and this is not a knock to Hurts at all. It just walk with me. It is so hard for Lamar or Allen, granted, only really been Mahomes, to take their team to the AFC Championship and or Super Bowl because they got to run into one of them guys like Joe Burrow for an example, for a stint when they were healthy and they were making their runs too. Like, it's so hard. I think it's way more easier. The pathway is set up for the Eagles to just dominate that conference. The Eagles should dominate that conference. This season coming up too. The Eagles should dominate that conference. 1000%. So, like, yes, it's hard. But for the AFC quarterbacks to be super dominant or to be great and also get there numerous years in a row, like, I know Mahomes is doing it. The Chiefs are doing it. So I guess it's hard for Allen and Lamar and Burrow, but to Lamar, like, what I like about Hurts is that he know what to do in certain moments that Lamar and Allen and these other quarterbacks just don't know what to do. Like, they just don't know what to do. For example, Hurts know how to use his legs and when to use his legs. Hurts know when to ignore the check down and make that crosser route throw or that deep post throw or whatever the case may be that are 15, 20 yards down. In the game of the Super Bowl, he had Saquon open on the check down. He didn't even hit Saquon. Instead of the check down, I think he hit Smitty on like a crosser or something like that. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Most quarterbacks would have took the quick check down. Saquon, do your work. It ain't like he had numerous runs for first down with his legs. So, shit like that stands out. You know what I'm saying? Lamar didn't take off enough against the Bills for me. Oh, it was Goddard. Okay, yeah, Lamar didn't take off against the Bills enough for me. So it is what it is. Y'all get these. No, I'm not giving him Bill. I'm just being real. I'm not giving no AFC quarterback Bill. I'm just being real. But listen, I need everybody that's in here to do me a favor real quick before we get into it. I'm actually going to start with the NFL anyway. With this Aaron Rodgers news, it's brief, I know, but I'm just asking y'all a question. I got another warm-up question for the show today, and then we're going to dive into action. Every day, I'm going to try to have a warm-up question for the show. I need everybody that's in here to do me a favor, though. We are super close to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you all subscribe to the Fact and Stats YouTube channel for the daily sports show. And, oh, damn. podcast episodes, and most importantly, constant support. I need everybody that's in here. You can either retweet this for me, you can quote tweet this for me, or you can favorite this for me. All three. Road to 1,000 subscribers. I need y'all to help me get to that pretty fast. Again, if you retweet this, I'm pretty sure somebody's willing to tap in, subscribe, or even tap in and follow, whatever the case may be. Super duper close. For the ones that did it already, I see 5 people and 4 likes. Thank y'all. For the ones that did not do that, can y'all go to the Twitter page? I'll make this easy for y'all. I'm gonna put it right in the chat. Make it easy for y'all. And hit that, retweet that, quote tweet that, like that, whatever the case may be. I said this bigger improvement is between the ears. We'll greatly appreciate that, y'all. Thank you. So that's it for the Who Sold Your Parlay. Process to Jaden. Process. You understand what I'm saying about the AFC quarterback? I think you agree with what I said.
Yeah, I'm here right now.
Yeah, I think you agree with what I said about the AFC quarterbacks. Oh,
yeah,
you said fact.
they have a tougher situation for sure, no doubt about it. But the difference is when he goes up against a team that they can't seem to get over, he balls the fuck out twice.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's which I agree, it's harder in the AFC because you got those powerhouses of quarterbacks that you're going up against. But when Hurts goes up against them guys, he plays I mean, bro, he beat Lamar, who Lamar doesn't lose to in the NFC. He's beaten Josh Allen in a shootout game last year, which was fucking incredible. He was amazing in that game. They beat the Chiefs last year. The year before, he played his ass off in the Super Bowl against them, and then he beats them this year in a fucking dominating fashion. I'm not saying that Hurts is talented like those guys. Like, you know, Shaggy puts those aliening and all that. But yeah, I get it for sure. He don't have that in his game. But like you said, he does things where those guys, they think they need to be fucking superheroes. Hurts knows he doesn't have to do that. He just makes the plays that are there, takes what the defense gives him, and fucking dominates that way. Because Spags gets those guys completely rattled. He's still yet to figure out how to stop Jalen Hurts. And he's probably one of the best defensive coordinators we've seen in the last 10 years. So, and I don't want to take away that how great the Eagles are, because there are not many quarterbacks have the luxury of being behind that line, having the weapons he has. But dude, he executes. Like, the Bills have a good team, the Ravens have a great team, the Bengals have had good teams in the past. So you can't just say those guys have done it without help. Granted, Hurts probably has the most, but dude, you got to execute, and those guys just don't execute against the Chiefs. Those guys just can't execute against the Chiefs. It's crazy. I don't know if it's in their head or what. And the only interception that Hurts had was, like, I'm not trying to say it was a punt, but I wish he never had it, because he would have went 0 turnovers in the entire playoffs. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing.
No, it won 1,000%. One, you just said facts. First and foremost, everything you said was just facts. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't say that throw was a punt. It definitely wasn't a punt. The pressure came. He just threw it up there.
Yeah. But I'm saying it ended up resulting in, like, it was third down. So, like, they caught it. They caught it at the 1. So it was like almost like, you know what I mean? It's still a bad throw. I think he got hit and he threw a duck and it went short and it went right to the, I think, Bolton, whatever. But I'm just saying, you know, and people, because I've argued with other people, like, oh, look at the roster. But, like, you know, bro, he's executing at a high level. And you saw their game plan make him beat you. And guess what? He fucking beat him. He destroyed them. And also, people are saying that the guys he's got and the time he has, bro, you still got to make the throws. The back shoulder throw to fucking AJ, money. The one where AJ pushed off, money. The one to Devontae Smith is one of the best balls I've ever seen Jalen Hurts throw. And the exact play you're saying, I actually got mad at Hurts because I said he's got fucking Saquon in the flat.
Bro, I was saying the same thing, bro.
I said, got fucking Saquon in the flat, and he threw like a 20-yard pass to Goddard. I was like, all right. I was like, throw the fucking ball. I was like,
Saquon is wide open. Saquon is wide open. I'm like, okay.
Right. So, I mean, he's doing it. That's why I have him at 5. You know, I still think that Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, and Lamar, talent-wise, are better than him. But like I said, I'd taken Hurts over all of them in a big game. His 3 best games of his career could be this Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl, and the NFC Championship game against the fucking Commanders. I mean,
I think Process is being nice, quite frankly.
Well, I know quarterback play is great. Like, I love watching good quarterback play, and he's been amazing at it. But I'm just talking about pure talent wise. Obviously, those guys But if I want to win, I'm taking him over all of them. That
I
includes
guess
Mahomes.
I guess why I come at like I feel like with a lot of the AFC quarterbacks, obviously Pat aside because he's won multiple times. Um, I feel like we're at a crossroads with a lot of them of like, okay, so you've been in the league, all of y'all on your second contracts, right? Um, when is it, if not now, then when? You know? And it's kind of like how much are we gonna talk about the talent because they're supremely talented quarterbacks just from like a talent standpoint, like you said, and like Ev, you've acknowledged, like we can all acknowledge, like they're really freaking like Allen,
Was good, Lawrence.
Lamar, Burrow. I know some people like Herbert. I think he's talented. There's some talented quarterbacks in the AFC, but it's kind of like if y'all are all constantly running into the same issue, can I give you that over a quarterback that gets it done when it needs to get done? Like talent is one thing, but can you execute? Can you perform in the moments where like that talent, needs to meet execution and where it matters the fucking most? Because like not saying any of these quarterbacks are Philip Rivers, but like Philip Rivers from like a passing standpoint was a talented quarterback, but he never fucking got it done. And we never put him in the conversations with the people who have gotten it done because like it comes to a point where when it's all said and done, if none of these quarterbacks win a ring, that is an issue. And I'm not going to be talking about their talent. I think they will. Well, let me say this. I think Lamar will. I don't know about the others, but I think
Shout
Lamar
out to
will.
everybody who live in the moment.
No,
Um, But it's just kind of like, and I guess it's just like I'm ready to move past like these conversations that I feel like we've been having with these quarterbacks for like the past 4 fucking years. Like can we please move past it? Because I think they as quarterbacks have grown a lot, and I feel like when they're doing great and they look wonderful, it's oh my gosh, they're elite, they're aliens, they're superstars, they're the best quarterback in the fucking league. Oh my gosh, look at their talent. And when they don't get it done, it's kind of like, oh, well, they're kind of a product of their circumstances and I'm just kind of like, okay, are you gonna floor raise or not? Because that's a part
And
of being an
Jalen Hurts
elite
did the exact
quarterback.
same thing 2 years
Are you
ago.
gonna floor raise or are you not? You know? So like that isn't to me that's not hate. I'm just kind of like, all right, too much given, much is expected. And I feel like if I'm gonna give them all the fucking praise when they're doing well and they look good, I'm going to expect more out of you. No, I'm not gonna expect you to do what I would expect out of a Matt Stafford. No, I'm not gonna hold you to the standards that I would hold a Baker Mayfield. Not bad quarterbacks, but they're
Matt
not
Stafford
those
also just went to
guys.
a Super Bowl.
You know?
is
So
this
I
is
don't know.
this is this? I'm hearing everything you're saying. Is this in
Mhm.
response to you said process is being nice? Is this in response to saying process is saying? I mean, process saying the Hurts is 5.
No, no, this is really in response to me saying process is being nice. I feel like he could have went a little harder.
Oh, okay. I'm
On
trying
it.
to
Yeah,
focus you.
that's not to that. No, that was me thinking that was me saying process is being nice. But this is really just the overall commentary that we've had about these quarterbacks. And this isn't just about Lamar. This isn't just about Josh Allen. This is about like that elite, that quote unquote elite group of quarterbacks who just haven't been able to get it done.
Quote
And
unquote.
now
Quote
yeah,
unquote.
just and I say quote unquote because not everybody might have the same guys in their top whatever. So I don't want people to be like, well, they're not elite to me. I'm not trying to walk into that argument. I know who I think talent wise are elite quarterbacks. And I think we all kind of know who the top guys are for the most part, even if your top guys are different, which is why I said quote unquote.
Mhm.
Um, but this is more of like, okay, when are we going to move the conversation along? Like, I don't want to be having the same conversation year 7 or year 8 or year 9 just because they have been able to get it done. Like, when we're gonna move the combo? Is it gonna always be the same thing over their team or their
Never.
whatever? That's just me, and I feel like I'm at a point to where I'm ready to move the conversation longer. I mean, ahead because I feel like one, that's what their praise demands. But also, I feel like just the caliber of quarterbacks that I think they are and that I think that they can be, I feel like it kind of does them a disservice to be like, oh, well, they're just a product of their circumstances.
Because people could say
Mhm.
Lamar stepped up, but guess what? You know who they're gonna do? They're gonna blame Mark Andrews.
So you can't do nothing about that. It's never gonna go away.
Okay. I
I don't
had
know
to
what
ask
people are
you.
talking about.
Yeah. I had to ask you where was your angle with that, so I know how to respond back to what you said.
Yeah,
But
no, you're good.
now that I know, then I'm like, it's no really response. I'm hearing you. Um, I
Bro, I'm also chill because I'm looking at the future, bro. We're the sixth youngest team in the NFL. I mean, this is like, I don't want to get nuts, but we got a chance to be good for a while.
Y'all are set up really well for the future process. Like, really
Once we win
well.
another one or another two, then I'm gonna start absolutely going crazy. I'm gonna say some outlandish shit. So I'm just ready for that.
I it's tough because it's no with all the respect, no disrespect to nobody team that's in the NFC, but it's no real comp. Like it's no real, and it's not. This is not a knock to what you guys did, but I'm saying is like, yeah, y'all should win another one or two. As long as y'all get there, y'all probably will win another one if y'all get there.
I'm not
But
gonna lie. There's no fucking comp in the league,
it's
dog.
oh yeah, fair. Well, what are you talking about to the Eagles or are you talking about
To
the
the
whole entire?
Eagles. We just fucking dismantled a team that had a chance to three-peat, that spanked the fucking Bills, that well, not spanked them, but
They
that
didn't.
beat
That might say, come on,
See,
bro,
see,
stop.
like
and
You
and
come
don't
and
have
on,
this
to.
is
bro.
why,
You don't have
Don't
to
and
go
and
say
this is
that
why.
far.
Listen,
But
Process,
bro, I'm just
listen.
saying, like
process,
bro, nobody
process,
in
You
that
know they didn't spank
process,
the Bills, right? You know they didn't spank the
process,
I
Bills,
also
right?
disagree with
process,
that
bro,
there's no comp in the NFC.
process,
nobody in their mom.
And I
process,
also think people
process.
Go
overrate
ahead.
the competition in the AFC. But
Process,
yes,
process,
continue.
process. I think there are
I
avenues.
hear you.
Oh, I think there are avenues or ways that the three best teams, quote unquote, in the AFC can get better to be right there on par. Not probably just as good as you, but sometimes a team can have a better roster, quote unquote, or on paper and still lose the game, right? Because so
Yeah.
and so made a play or so and so had a turnover, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Ravens, Chiefs, and Bills can all improve their team this offseason, right? And or even just be more healthy. Um, and then also for the NFC sake, and I heard Ari say she disagree, but I'm sorry. The Eagles are fucking the Lions up when it's all said and done when it gets there. The Eagles are fucking the Vikings up if they
100%.
meet. The Eagles are going to fuck the Commanders up again this year coming if they were to play. You know, obviously the Commanders would be better in my opinion this year with more weapons and more help. But it's who the Packers, who the Bucks.
Nobody. No, we're spanking the fuck out of everyone.
Like I'm trying to be real. Like who I'm supposed to say? The
All
49ers gonna
right.
bounce
But
back.
you
The
gotta think
49ers,
about it. It's
the
only
Cowboys.
I'm gonna
four.
say this. I'm gonna say this because it's the off
It's
season,
only
and I hate
realistically it's only three teams that can win the
and I
championship in
and
the
I
NFL.
hate these types of conversations in the off season. Um, I genuinely do. This competition, no competition off season. I just will say,
Get it
only
off
thing I
your
want to
chin, bro.
the
Damn, like
wow.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Yeah.
the only thing I do want to say is one, Trey just made a good point. The NFL does not work like that. And two, we had these same conversations, not necessarily about the Eagles last year, but we had the same conversations going into the season this upcoming season. Oh, the AFC is going to be super competitive and everything, and look at all these teams and look at all this competition, and it ended up being the same fucking three teams as it always is: the Ravens, the Bills, and the fucking Chiefs.
But only one team got added into that mix though, and that was the
Ed,
Texans.
what a
And the
comp
Texans,
at?
and the
No,
Texans got
but
hurt.
I'm saying okay,
No,
okay.
but be fair though, Ari.
The Texans are
The
not
Texans,
comp.
no, hold on. I'm saying to what Ari point, the same ended up with being the same three teams and all these teams in the AFC, but only one team was getting pushed into
No,
that
it wasn't
convo.
just them. It was the chart. It's what y'all do. Y'all do the Chargers
It was
shit
not the
every
Chargers,
year.
bro.
Yes,
Stop.
y'all
It is not
do.
this.
Yes, you
All right,
do.
we do
Yes,
the
you
Chargers
do.
and have the weapon on the
Yes, you
outside.
do.
Nobody put. All right,
Yes, you
nobody
do.
put the Chargers at the top of the AFC
Ev, I
going into last.
remember.
All right,
I'm
that's
not.
not
We're not
true.
talking. Ev, this
Go
isn't
ahead,
about
go
the
ahead.
top. There's a difference between being at the fucking top of the.
You
I'm not trying to cuss anymore,
you
and I'm
said
not
one
trying
of
to
those
yell.
teams, but
I'm
you
gonna.
said
I'm
one of
gonna
those
take it
teams.
back. I'm
All
gonna
right, you
take it
said
back.
one of those teams in the
I'm gonna take
AFC.
it back,
I
and I'm gonna go
promise
back
you, the
really
Chargers did
down.
not get put in that combo. It was the Texans.
Chargers
You
wasn't even
keep
getting
over
fucking playoff
talking
odds.
me. You keep
Okay,
over
go ahead,
talking
go
me,
ahead,
and I'm
go ahead,
not trying to yell.
go ahead.
So chill the fuck out for 2 seconds. There's a difference between there being competition, which you said there's comp, and being at the top of the division, not division, conference. Yes, there are teams that we all think are at the top of the division, and there's also teams that we feel like can compete. Whether you feel like they're going to win or not is a separate conversation. So if you're having the who's really going to win, who actually really has a chance to win and go to the Super Bowl, that's a separate conversation, and I actually changed I might change my outlook on the AFC. However, you said competition. We're not talking about the top 3 guys in the league. Because guess what? When you look back at the AFC this past season, there really wasn't any fucking competition. It was just those 3 teams and then every fucking body else. That was not the conversation
That goes to my
that was
point.
had going into the season. It was the same thing that the AFC is going to be more competitive than the NFC this year, which it was not. And everyone had opinions. You can say, oh, it was just the Texans for you. I remember, because I remember the conversation was had with Jay Will. Who's a dark horse? Who's a fucking surprise pick? Wherever the fuck. It was 2 terms that I surprised, like really got confused. But it was like, who was going to be a dark horse and who was going to be a underrated. I forget the fucking basketball term that I use. And majority of the teams that people said, and it was a group conversation where the Chargers, it wasn't just the Texans because everybody expected the Texans to win their division. It was the Chargers, it was the Colts, it was a few other teams. Now we can look back with hindsight and say that shit was stupid. But let's not act like people weren't bigging up the AFC the way that they do every fucking year because the AFC has quarterbacks. But let's not do that because you said competition and it was not competitive in the AFC this season.
Okay,
It was not.
let me respond back to this. Okay, one nobody ever. All right, I remember this vividly. I sit here with headphones on when I host the show. No, yes, the J Will convo was had. Nobody ever said the Colts are going to step into those convos.
I dead ass remember it being in the chat.
Hold on,
it was dark. It was
it's my turn.
That's right. That's correct.
It's my turn.
You're
I
right.
listen
That's
to
right.
you.
You're right. You're right.
Nobody put the Colts in those convos. Nobody put the Chargers in those convos. The only because we all know the Chargers didn't have no offensive weapons on the outside. They didn't have no wide receivers. They coming back with Quentin Johnson, and we knew they drafted Ladd, but nobody put much on Ladd to come into the year for the Chargers. Granted, did he outproduce what anybody thought he could do? Yeah, he did. He definitely did. But nobody put. It was only one team. I remember this vividly. And if you want to throw the Dolphins in there for the sake of it, probably you can throw the Dolphins in there.
It also wasn't just the Dolphins; it was the Jets because you were high on the Jets this past
maybe
season, into the season.
Yes, you can throw the
So
Jets.
it wasn't just the Texans.
Okay, okay, cool. One more team, but I promise you, from as far as series being one of the better teams in the conference, it was only the Texans that got mentioned, and even I was the one that was on that side. When they got Stephon Diggs, I remember this shit vividly, bro. Niggas was like, and me too. Niggas was like, damn, Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Diggs, Joe Mixon, another year, CJ Stroud, and you know how everybody came to this year having CJ Stroud as a top 5 quarterback. Majority of people in fact and stats had him as a top 5 quarterback, so that's where niggas was like, okay, Texans this, Texans that. They could be good at the Ravens. They can beat the Bills. That would happen. But we all knew it was going to be the same. We always said it. And when it's all said and done, or at the end of the day, the 3 main teams. And it ended up being the same 3 main teams. It's always going to come down to that. As far as the NFC having more comp, I think that's Jazz. Because most teams in the NFC
was it not more competitive this year?
With all due respect, more competitive. You said, yeah, that's the word you used.
Oh,
I think that's Jazz because I just don't think that there's that many good NFC teams. Like record wise can show you something different or something else. I get that, but I genuinely don't think there's that many good NFC teams. It was only really two and a half, 3 good teams in NFC this year to me, and that's the Eagles, Lions, and I'm a half the Commanders. No, the half is the Vikings. I'm sorry. Good teams in the NFC this year. We all know the Commanders. Some would say overachieved,
and so who are the good teams in the AFC?
Yeah, the good teams in the AFC.
The Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills. Correct?
The Bills. Yeah, that's not a half though. I mean, that's not a half though.
Wait, what was your?
So half a team better. Gotcha.
But you said, but my thing is,
but half a team better.
When you want to speak
according to you ain't got to use me. This is your
when you want to speak to a competitive standpoint, I can say the Broncos were competitive. I can say the Chargers were competitive. I can say like you use the competitive.
So if you can use the Broncos and say the Broncos and the Chargers were competitive, I can say the Bucks were competitive. I can say the Packers were competitive. I can say the whatchamacallit, I'm blanking on the team. The Rams were competitive. I can say the same shit.
No, I know that's my point. But my thing is, we all said and done. We all coming into this year instead of the 3 main teams. Like we don't have to make it seem like we named the Colts.
Into this season,
the Colts
coming into because we're talking about coming into this season. So coming into this season, you'll say, and I agree that for the AFC side, it was just the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens. But the Bengals had too much questions, and y'all also don't really like them in here. And people were like, maybe the Texans with CJ, but like, not really. Nobody was really fully like into it outside of Black and Jaja, right? Coming into the season, this is before we knew what was going on with CMC. It wasn't just because you threw in the Vikings. That's postseason because nobody was high. Not
Yeah. Oh
nobody.
yeah. Yeah. I
I was
shouldn't
high
even
on the
say the Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah, that's my bad. I shouldn't have said the Vikings.
It was really the Niners, the
Yeah.
Eagles, and the Lions.
Yes.
People were high on the Packers in the same way that they were high on the Texans, in the sense that we had just saw them in the playoffs. We had just saw the season that they had with two young quarterbacks and said, "Ooh, I think that could be a young team." But
Yes. Fair.
nobody
Fair.
really put a lot of stock. Well, let me not say nobody. I don't
No, you're right.
think
You're right. You're right.
people put a lot of stock in either teams. So what we're saying is, coming into the season,
So 4-4, basically.
both have 4-4.
Yes. Yeah, I'm
One
with
just
you.
ended
I
up
agree.
being more competitive.
I agree. Now, when we get down to the nitty gritty, who has the better teams though overall? When you go to the top 4, right?
But that's not the conversation we were
no,
having,
but I'm
though,
saying
Ev. You're changing the
yeah.
conversation.
I think the conversation is evolving as we're talking, because you can say whatever you. I don't know how you feel about Eagles and Chiefs. I don't know how you feel about Ravens and Lions, or Bills and Lions, or whatever the case may be.
What do you
But I
mean?
think as far as teams, like, who's better?
Like between them?
Yeah.
Nigga, I gotta think it's fucking
Coming
not the
into the year, out of those 8 teams you just listed, really
Oh,
6.
coming into the year.
We can cut the Texans and the Packers out. Coming into the season, who do you think the best team was between those 6 teams?
Between those 6, so Niners, Lions, Eagles, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even know if I had an opinion.
That's a tough question. That don't really matter.
That's a really fucking tough question. I was like, nigga, I don't even know if I really had an opinion.
That was months ago. We can
I
leave
was
that
high
alone.
I was high on 4 out of 6, I would say.
All in all, you said something like AFC Bill, or you said something like you trying to move from a conversation of not doing it. What did you say? Trying to move from
No, it's more. That's why I was kind of confused how we haven't gotten like the conference or competition conversation, because ultimately I'm talking about quarterback play in the moments of when it matters the most, right? And that was really my point, is we have these, like, the best way to say it is to, like I said before, to most is given, most is expected. So we give Pat, Josh, Lamar, Joe, Jalen, for some, now I will say it wasn't this way going into the season for most people, but let's just say Jalen, right? A lot of praise and say, oh, these are really good quarterbacks or whatever, right? The only 2 that have managed to win is Jalen and Pat. Jalen beating Pat and Pat beating the fucking Niners. And so, leaving them outside of the conversation, I look at the rest, and I would think, and I think most people have them as, the rest of them in in that type 5 quarterback conversation, however, whatever order you have it in, people have them in that conversation. So for me, if you're going to be in a top 5 quarterback conversation, yes, when it matters most, you for some reason can't make it happen. And I say you because that's what I expect out of I'm putting I put a lot of onus and responsibility on top quarterbacks. If you feel like, if you're going to give them all the praise when they win and be like, oh my gosh, you're great, you're wonderful, you're fantastic. Yes, like, it might be insane, but yes, I expect Lamar to be as good in the regular season as he is in the postseason. Yes, I expect Josh Allen to be as good in the regular season as he is in the postseason, or like as good in the postseason as he is in the
I'm about
regular.
to say,
Like, you want to flip, you know what I mean?
I got you.
Same thing with Joe. Same thing with all of the top quarterbacks, because I expect you to carry it on. I don't expect for there to be a dip because you're elite, quote unquote, by most people's standards. You're elite. So to be elite, yeah, shit ain't, you can't just win when shit is all sweet and be like, oh yeah, look, that proved that I'm elite. No. Sometimes shit ain't gonna be sweet. Sometimes shit is not gonna be put together. But as an elite quarterback, you, by being elite, that's telling me that you have abilities to floor raise in the ways that other dudes don't. And I feel like when what has been the constant conversation around those that have not succeeded, it gets, oh, well, look at his team. Look, oh, so and so dropped the ball. Oh, look at this or look at that, or the defense or the whatever. And those are all very real factors. But at the end of the day, it comes down to is like, you didn't get it done. So when are we going to move the conversation past? Well, just look at everybody else. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at the quarterback. Look at everybody else. Look at everything they didn't do. Look at everything that they You know, when is it going to be? No, you willed them to win. And I might have unrealistic ass standards. I feel like that's how we used to judge quarterbacks back in the day. Um, that those quarterbacks that were deemed elite, you did not get it done. I love Drew, but Drew didn't get it done a lot of the times. And then at the end of his career, he was the reason why we didn't win twice. I love him, but like that's just, for me, that's just what it is. So I feel like if you're in those conversations, you don't get the bail that I'm gonna give a Matt Stafford. You don't get the bail that I'm gonna give a CJ Stroud. You don't get the bail that I'm gonna give a Justin Herbert because you're supposed to be better than that. So why am I holding you to the same standards? Why are we having these same types of conversations when we've all acknowledged that they are much better than that? When is the conversation gonna move? When are we gonna grow? When is it gonna move past just this shit that we were saying about them on their rookie contracts?
When you said a lot of things that make sense and a lot of good points. I just don't know if it's I don't know. I'm not giving them bail. When we was having a convo, when I was having a convo with Process when he was up here, I stated how it should be easier for them to dominate in that conference because you have 4 guys that's within the top 5, quote unquote, to majority people that have to go head and head, and it's only been one guy that been able to get there consistently, right? So that's a knock to Lamar, Allen. Shout out to Burrow, he got there, but even Burrow. But I'm not necessarily giving bail. I just think that to circle back to the beginning of the convo, or how some of this initiated, I just think Hurts did things in big games or big moments or big drives or big series, whatever the case may be, that those other guys just did not do. Now you could see throughout the course of a game where Josh Allen probably, to me, I think he just lost the Chiefs game on him. I think this game was not solely on him, but a lot of it was on him. But as far as the Ravens, like you used the word will, I think Lamar Jackson really did will the team or try to will the team to a victory in the second half. And you saying they're going to blame the others, but Mark Andrews dropping the ball is a really valid thing. Mark Andrews throwing the ball in that fourth quarter is really, or 8 minutes or something like that to go, is really a valid thing. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
and
But
that's exactly why I said
And
that.
that's fair.
the whole
That's
entire game
fair.
is not on Mark Andrews. I'm not putting the whole entire game on Mark Andrews.
But that's the conversation though.
But
When you
they all
Well,
are
say,
gonna
if a
but
they're
lot,
when
if a
always
you
gonna
lot, if a
blame
say,
the
lot,
person
if a
that
lot,
messes
if a
up.
lot of people say that to about Mark Andrews, I get that. It's probably out of anger or hurt or feelings, and I was probably one of the ones too. I get that. If anybody's gonna say, man, Mark Andrews fucked us over, they
mhm.
have the right to say that though. Like you cannot deny that. They have the right to
No,
say that.
it's not about that being denied. It's like a concept of like both things can be true at the same time, but what do we want to spend the most of our time talking about? If we're going to spend the most of our time talking about Mark Andrews fucking you over because that was the last play and the literal last opportunity, yes. But then we can't be mad at people that say, okay, just like you just said, Lamar willed us through in the second half. You played 2 halves of football, correct? So you can't get mad at people that also bring up the first half, that put up the hypothetical of, well, if Lamar played better in the first half, maybe you're not even in that position in the first place to where Mark Andrews can fuck you over. You know? So it's kind of like those conversations. I feel like not, and I'm not saying this specifically towards you because I don't think you feel this way. You know? And like I don't necessarily think you give them bail. I think people do give them bail. Or what I may
Nah, he a
consider bail
100% dude. He a
personally.
100% dude. He definitely give him bail.
How do I give Lamar Bail? How am I giving Lamar Bail?
I'm talking
How?
about all of them, not just Lamar.
It's
Oh no,
just like a it's just
I,
like
He
a
literally gave him bail the
at
first
the
game.
end of the day,
They
like
all got a tougher challenge. That's bail.
let's I'll put it like
that's
this.
being real.
I'll
No,
put
that's
it like
bail.
this. I'll put it
If
like
Process can
this.
admit that, you can too.
That's bail. Playoff football is tough. Go
It is
win.
tough.
What the
But I'll
fuck
put
is
it
you
like
talking
this,
about? That's
Ev.
bail,
So
nigga.
saying that Super Bowl with the Patriots and the Falcons, right? And the Patriots had made the comeback, right? But for some reason they didn't win. You think people gonna just talk about, oh, but Tom really brought him back in the second half? No. They're going to talk about, truthfully, not even the second half, the latter half of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. You think people going to talk about that just because it was a really great, miraculous comeback?
Yeah,
No.
that's a good
They're going to
point.
talk about the fact that, damn, they were so close. And if Tom had done XYZ, if XYZ had happened, because at the end of the day, the success laid with Brady, which is actually what makes that Super Bowl win so great. It's not just the fact that he overcame some of the shit that happened in those first 2.5 quarters. It's the fact that he overcame it and then won. He pulled it. He ran across the finish line. He collected his 200. He passed go.
That's
And so it's
actually
kind of like, when do we have, if we're going to put them in GOAT conversations or put them in greatest talent or elite or superstar or whatever conversations, when the fuck when is it not hating to bring up the fact that Lamar did not saying you, but to bring up the fact that Lamar did not have a good first half of the game?
no, exactly.
When is it not hating?
One. That's one of your better points you ever made personally. That's actually a good point.
Thanks.
That's actually one of your better points. That's actually a good point. But yeah, that's just a good point. I don't really have a response to that. Everything that you said today, the only thing I did not like was the Phillip Rivers thing, because that's why I asked you what's your angle before I responded.
Oh
Because
yeah, you're, I just don't like Phillip
the
Rivers, so I
the
I
Phillip
choose
Rivers
to
thing,
shit
like
on
he
him.
was never in the Drew Payton Brady combos anyway. In
No,
my
but that's
opinion,
why I specified arm talent, not talent as a whole, but arm talent. And I think if he
okay.
did eventually manage to win one, I think he might have been. I don't know. Maybe he might have been in those conversations if he managed to win. But I think arm talent wise, which is what a lot of these quarterbacks have, is like talent. Then
Mm.
yeah, like he was an extremely talented quarterback. He just didn't get it done. Should we hear it with Dan Marino? Oh my gosh, Dan Marino played football in a way that quarterbacks never played football in that era. But you know what they still say? But he never won though. He never won. And we can look at his teams and look at all the shit he ain't have. But what they say, well, the Dolphins, they don't say the Dolphins never won. They say Dan never won. Because the Dolphins have won in their franchise history. But you know who's never won? Dan. And that's what happens. That's what ultimately gets brought up in those conversations when it's all said and done. Because I feel like, and I guess what I could call them are legacy conversations. 'Cause I feel like for the talent and the way that we talk about these quarterbacks, we talk about them as future Hall of Famers or potential future Hall of Famers. And we think about the legacy that they will have. And I feel like if we can do that when they're great and they're breaking all these records and they're doing all this wonderful shit, and why can't I still why does the goalpost move when they don't get it done?
Nah, I was only asking you that because, and yeah, you're making good points. I was only asking you that because I thought you were saying, and again, not established. That's not the angle that I was taking it at. I see your message as far as not winning big game, but again, this originated from Process coming up here and saying he has him at 5, right? You know, type it in the chat saying he has him at 5, and I thought that's why I asked Art before I made this Phillip Rivers point of response. I just threw it in there just to throw it in there, but I thought she was saying like, well, Hurts has a ring. He wins the big games. He's now over XYZ. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, that's why I was like, well, how are you taking this? Because just because he won the big games or had the Super Bowl, I'm not going to, are you saying he's over Allen, Burrow, Lamar? But she said that's not what she was doing anyway. So that's why I asked her, like, where are you going with that? And that's why I was going back and adding on. If that's where you were going with that, I was going to say, well, I don't think Phillip was ever in those combos with, because I don't think Phillip Rivers was ever better than, especially when he hit New Orleans. I don't think Phillip Rivers was ever better than Drew Brees. I don't think he ever was better than Peyton Manning. I don't think he ever was better than Tom Brady. So I think when I think of Phillip Rivers, yeah, he had arm talent, but I more so put him with the big bands. Like I think he was with big bands. I probably would lean Phillip over Big Ben though, but I think he
Yeah,
was
I
with
normally put him in like the Big Ben, Matt Ryan, like that kind of conversation.
yeah.
Normally that's where he is. But I will also say one of the reasons,
Phillip Rivers was a flip floppy, man. I ain't gonna lie, but he
I mean,
was
he was
good. But
inconsistent as
yeah, he
hell.
was.
He's a prime
That nigga, the
example of
Matthew
like
Stafford.
quarterbacks that
Go ahead,
had a hard time showing up when it mattered. That could, do all the shit in the regular season, have all the numbers, but just like, and then the one time that he did show up, his defense ain't show up. And then they fired his head coach the next year.
Yo,
I mean, that next off season.
Did Jordan Woods come up here talking about the Lions and shit? Because I had to go real quick.
Nah, he
No,
didn't say
it's
nothing
literally
yet,
just
but
been me.
I have
that is
not
why he
said a
came up.
single word, brother.
I just
It's
saw
just
you.
been
I'm
Nice
me,
try.
Ev.
sick and tired of this stupid fucking fan base, bro.
It's been me and Ev process.
Hold on, real quick, because I don't want this point to go any further. Just off Phillip, I thought Phillip was okay in the playoffs. Again, not great, but I thought he did enough at times. Obviously,
Yeah,
earlier in
I
the career,
agree.
he sucked, but really after 2009, his his fourth run, he had great runs. I think 2013 was good. 2018, in the 2 games he had was great. 2020, I thought he did enough in that game to win, but that Colts defense sucked. So it really does matter about the team as well. And that's why I don't put as much stock into it, like a lot of people do, because again, it is a team win. To win the Super Bowl, you need to have the best team, not just the better quarterback, but the best team. We've seen it year in, year out as well. We've seen Nick Foles win. We've seen, I'm going to say his name because, it is true, Jalen Hurts.
But he didn't have the best team that year, though, so don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I-
saying.
Nick
they were-
Foles didn't have close to the best team. They were an
That
Yeah.
Eagles
underdog.
team was not the best team that year.
Okay,
They
No.
were the underdog
so
in
we're not
every
listening.
game.
Okay, so we're not listening. That's fine. But
What? Hold on.
But that's
Don't
still
move on to
escaping
their
the point that,
Y'all
like,
not let him, y'all not let him
That's
finish
true,
though.
that's
Let him
Yeah,
finish.
but that
Let me
point
see where he's
you're
going with it
contradicting
though.
But
Let me
that
see where he's
point-
going with it. Let me see how he
Okay,
tied
yes,
together.
yes,
though.
yes.
Let me see how he
Eagles
tied
weren't the best
together though.
team that
Let me see how he tied together. Let me see how he tied together.
But no, I just think that, we talk about the elite quarterbacks and the elite talent that we have in the league right now. Burrow, Lamar, Allen, those guys, they might win 1 or 0 Super Bowls in their career. And that sucks. But the teams that they have, at least Burrow's wise, but these teams, the better team will win, just not the better quarterback. So I'm not putting
No,
them
I
at
don't
top.
like that. I don't like that because
like
That's
that.
I
I'm not
think
going
bro.
for
That's
that.
no,
I'm
I
not
don't
going
like
for
that
I'm not
because
going for that.
I hate to
You
make
don't
this
like
a
that.
Drew thing, but like Drew
Wait.
didn't have the better team in that Super Bowl.
What the fuck, bro? That's the complete opposite of everything. The best team
Like,
doesn't always
the
win.
best team doesn't always win. That's what makes the NFL
sure.
so fucking
Bro,
great.
what is he even saying right
Sure.
now? The Eagles were underdogs.
The Ravens were
every-
definitely better than the Chiefs last year, too, buddy. Y'all lost.
And the
so I don't
Ravens
know
were
what you're talking about.
definitely.
I mean, and then fuck the Ravens. The
the
Niners had
words
better rosters than the Chiefs in pretty much all of the, I would say, outside of
No.
the first one,
Ari.
outside
they
of
said
2 of
that
the 3
this is-
fucking Super Bowls they played.
Okay,
Like, what are
fuck
we
my
doing?
point then.
This is the
Just
best-
fuck my point.
Wait,
Go
they
ahead and back
said-
to whatever
they
the fuck
said
you
that
were
What you
talking about.
mean? You said the
Bro,
better
that
team
is your
always
point.
win.
What do you mean? What fuck's the point? You just said
Like,
the better
you're
team
saying it's a
wins.
team thing and that the best team always wins, and that's literally not the fucking case.
The words
That's
out
fine.
of your
Whatever
mouth.
you want to think. God.
Bro, the words out of your mouth and Ev's mouth and all Ravens fans said this is the best team Mahomes or Lamar has ever played with so far. Literally.
Facts. That's a
What
fact.
the fuck, dog? You guys got a great fucking running back. You finally got a weapon. Mark Andrews came onto the season at the end strong as shit. Your defense woke the fuck up. You told me it's the best safety you've ever seen. You told me this is the best linebacker in the NFL. All this shit. You had a great roster. You had a great team. Honestly, your team was more well-rounded than the Bills, and you fucking lost because you got outplayed quarterback-wise. So the better quarterback.
You cannot say that, but then ignore that we was missing Zay Flowers. Like that
No,
matters.
okay, that's fine, but you still had the
Okay,
better
but missing
roster.
Zay Flowers shit,
We
like,
missing our best wide
how much
receiver.
are
But
we
also,
hinging on
hold
Zay
on, you brought up
Flowers?
the Eagles in 2018.
Crazy,
The Eagles
bro.
lost the MVP.
Missing Zay Flowers, and y'all was still the favorite on the road. That's how good the team was.
Exactly.
It was
I just
damn
want you
near
to,
even- it was damn near even
I just want you to
So,
name
Las
me
Vegas odds?
Drew's receivers when he won a Super Bowl.
So we're going on
Name
Vegas
it.
odds. Okay. The
Name
Chiefs
the
were
rest
-1.5
outside
and they
of
lost by 20 plus.
You
The
guys
fuck?
Just
said
like
you
name
had
them.
the better team. You guys are saying you're the best team going into the NFL next year in the AFC. We did the rankings in here yesterday. You guys put the Ravens at number 2.
I didn't. I
Well,
did not.
okay, but the
I did
majority
not.
of
So don't
people
say
in
you
here,
guys
and I
when I was
don't
not in here.
disagree. Hold on, the majority of the people in here, and I don't disagree with them because I think that the Ravens do have a good team. Put the Ravens at number 2 going into the season next year, which makes them the best team in the AFC. So you guys can.
Bro, are you really bringing up that in this fucking
No,
conversation
I'm
right
just
now?
saying.
That
You're
was
bringing
way
up a
too early.
February
Fucking
power
random
rankings?
But
ranking.
Ev,
Like
I'm
what
just
the
saying you
fuck?
have a
You're
good.
But
bringing up February power
like,
rankings?
I don't think he's putting a lot of stock in it. I think what Process is
I'm
saying
just-
is that people are high on your fucking team.
Exactly.
Period.
People think that's a good.
I mean, he's clearly high enough to make a statement
Like,
about
people
it.
are high
Bro,
on
this is
people
what
are
I'm
high on
talking
your
about. All
fucking
they
team.
do
That's
is
what
get
he's
these
saying.
quarterbacks bail. They get these guys bail. They give
Yeah,
them
and
the
then
bail.
it's so funny though because you know what happened all year long last year. Everybody likes to say that the Eagles have this team, they have that team, but everybody also said the only reason they won't win is because that quarterback's going to hold them down. But now when we win, they say, "Oh, look at the team, look at the team." Well, you were speaking before about how the quarterback's going to be the reason we don't win. And now we win, and their game plan was to stop our run game.
Yeah, exactly. But that was the biggest thing. The game plan was different because you guys had Saquon Barkley in the backfield. So
I know,
I think that matters the most, though. Do you agree or no?
No, but I'm saying
Do you agree? Do you agree or no?
No, I agree, but I agree, but the point is, they're saying he can't win it for you. He literally did it.
Yeah. Again, if that statement was made, cool. But anybody
not by you, but that was.
I know you wasn't saying by me. I'm just saying if that statement was made, cool. But I do think that the game changed, and also the Eagles' offense is elevated, and also even Hurts elevated because the thing was so much more easier because he's not dumping it off to Miles Sanders. He's not dumping it off to DeAndre Swift. So then, from that standpoint, game plans defensively changed, and that's why this goes to Z. I don't know everything that Z Farm was getting at, but that's why defensive strategy and defensive play calling and defensive game plans matter so much when you're going against an opposing teams, because us not having Zay, I'm not trying to be funny, us not having Zay allowed the Bills to do so many different things as far as calls and dial-ups defensively from a scheme standpoint. Y'all having Saquon made the Chiefs basically go in on that. Yeah, you agree. So that's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, but you're missing my point. I agree with you. It makes his job easier. The point is, that's what everybody in the media was saying, and that's what everybody's game plan is. The Eagles won't win because come playoff time, they're going to make Hurts have to beat you. But he proved them wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they said, is their passing game going to be good enough? That was really a storyline going into this week.
I agree.
So he fucking beat you. So you can't just say it's a team thing. He fucking beat you. Your game. The reason Z-Farm didn't say the Eagles could win a Super Bowl was because we had Jalen Hurts under center. The reason why Z-Farm said that the Lions were going to be better than us is because we have Jalen Hurts under center. But now
they did win more games than y'all. They were.
I was right in that statement. They would win more regular season games. But yeah.
But he's also talking about something Z-Farm said.
But I also didn't say that because Jalen Hurts is under center. But okay, you can.
Z-Farm made that point in the regular season. He made that for a regular season thing.
That had nothing to do with Jalen Hurts. That was more so. But good.
Everybody and their mother said the biggest flaw of the Eagles is what? Their fucking quarterback. And then they went to the coach.
And your head coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's not forget that.
I said the head coach. I didn't say Hurts. I said it's going to come down to
everybody pointed to the quarterback. They don't have the good enough quarterback. But he got the job done. Now everyone wants to praise the team. And I get it. We have a great team. But you got to give praise to the quarterback, too. And Z-Farm saying that good teams, you need a team to win. You need a team to win. Bro, you guys have a fucking good team. And you're pointing
but process.
Hold on.
No. Process. I hear you and I understand. Z-Farm is 1,000% correct about the team thing, though. Yes, we have a great team, a good team. Last year, this year, whatever the case may be. You can say that for numerous teams. But what the difference is, you guys, not even just the quarterback, not even the running back.
Execution.
It's an elevation. Elevation from the, you guys' offensive line and defensive line is so key to what you guys do. Your secondary is so key to what you guys do. Linebacker play is so key to what you do. That goes to the team thing. AJ, Smitty, Goddard, it's all key to what you guys do. And at all levels of football, when you look at the other 32, 30 teams, whatever the fuck it is, 29, 20, 31 teams, you guys are the best on both sides of the ball in those categories. So that's why the team matters.
But this is an unprecedented situation. This is the best, bro. No lie. In my opinion, this is the best team we've ever witnessed.
Bro, at the end of the day, the team can be
I think he's saying in our lives.
Yeah, I was gonna say
in our lives.
I think he's saying in our lives.
My point is, he's saying the teams. You need a team to win. You need good teams. It's a team thing. Yes, this year that was 100% true. We had the best team by far, and we won. So agreed, 100%. That's not how it goes every year in the NFL.
I agree. I said that.
And he brought up the stupid-ass 2017 Eagles. Bro, we were underdogs in every single game leading up to that Super Bowl. And you want to talk about injuries because people bring that up all the time. That fucking team was injured from top to bottom. We lost the guy who was fucking led us to a 13-3 record. We lost the best linebacker we had on that team in Jordan Hicks. You lose Darren Sproles, who was one of the fucking key weapons on that team. And if you want to really talk about it, our number 2 wide receiver was Aguilar. Alshon Jeffrey was our number 1, who's not a true number 1. We had a running back by committee with Garrett.
Yeah, that team was not. Yeah, that team was.
Our number 1 cornerback was Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby. That fucking team wasn't what you guys were talking about. That team called lightning in a bottle, and Nick Foles played 2 of the most amazing games I've ever seen. So top to bottom, that team was nowhere near a great team like you see now.
Lorenzo, what year you talking about, Lorenzo?
Top 5 defense as well, but yeah.
They weren't a top 5 defense going into the fucking playoffs that year.
They were.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now. You guys were fourth in yards. You had 3rd in turnover.
Fucking Peters, the best tackle we had. The best fucking tackle. I mean, Lane Johnson.
His point's still wrong. That was not the best team in the NFL that year.
They weren't. They
were a good team. They had good team building, and they won because of team building.
Bro, that's not what you
okay, Z-Farm.
We were the 23rd ranked offense. We had a good defense. Hold on. Before y'all ask questions, we were the 23rd ranked offense last year with the number 1 ranked defense. Stop saying we were a good team. We were a great defense with a okay offense. Please.
I mean, you were a historically great defense, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, with a
process, that's true.
You're a historically great defense with a quarterback going on his second MVP run.
with an
You
okay
guys
offense.
can't say, but hold on, Ev. You can't say. You literally said it this year, and I know Zay got hurt, and it's a big deal.
That
But
matters. That
and
matters.
I just said it's a big deal.
A
But
big deal.
you cannot say that this is one of the best team he's ever played with. And then
No. You're lying. I want to just catch you before you continue on. We said this is the best offense Lamar ever had. That's what we said, process.
Okay, so you combined it with the best offense, and then at the end of the season, everybody, including you, including you and Z-Farm, you see what the way the fucking defense is playing now. I told you they were going to get better. I told you they were going to.
And then what happened? We went into, and I'm not putting a loss on
Your
him.
quarterback didn't execute in the first half.
We said best offense because of Derrick Henry, both tight ends, Rashad and Zay. And when you miss Zay Flowers, that allows different teams to do different things. Process. So it doesn't matter. You cannot huff and puff that situation. That's a big loss. Process.
Everybody
bro, you knew that going into the game, bro.
Everybody has.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just speaking to what Process. Process brought up the point about us, our points with the Ravens team. He about to lie, so I had to fix him real quick. We said this is the best offense, but we were missing our best wide receiver.
Do you agree that in the playoff game,
you still picked y'all to win?
Stop, man.
You said what's Process?
Do you agree that team was still good?
This is annoying.
I think the team was still good in general. Yes.
No, like without Zay, that going into that playoff,
the team was still good in general. Yes, that's what. Yes.
Okay, so he's saying that the Eagles in 2017 they were a good team, bro. You guys were a good team. It's not just the best.
Yeah, but I'm only responding to the thing that you said as far as us saying the best, like or whatever the case. Yeah. Do you understand? Do you understand the point that I was making with the show? Because I'm hearing huffing and puffing from other niggas on the stage. You understand what I was saying with that though?
I agree.
Like, are we on the same page? Are we on the same page?
Yes.
Okay.
But you cannot agree with the fact that the best team always wins. That's the dumbest statement I've ever
I didn't agree with that. I'm the one that said 20 minutes ago the best team don't always win. I said that.
Yeah, I don't even know where the fuck he was getting that from. What the fuck?
I'm trying to wait with Z from, but I can't hear him clearly. Like, yeah, I don't know. But
last year the best team in the league was San Fran and they lost. San Fran was top to bottom the best team and they fucking lost. What the hell is he talking about?
What?
Oh, what do you mean? What? Are you deaf? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Top to bottom, San Fran was the best team. They were favored to win, and they lost.
Okay.
Okay.
Make sure y'all like the video, y'all.
Wait, hold up, Z-Farm. So who was? Well, Process is saying in the league, in the Super Bowl game, who was the best team?
I don't live in the past. I'm only looking towards the future.
Okay. Brought up the past, you jackass.
Oh, we know exactly what that is, right? We know exactly who it was.
He misspoke. But back to the original.
That's why I'm just say that.
Back to the original statement that I said is that we're no competition to anybody in the entire league, Ev, is because I truly believe this is the best team. I mean, I don't remember the greatest show on turf that vividly with the Rams, but bro, we have the number one defense. In my opinion, the best run game in the league. In my opinion, a top 3, maybe the best wide receiver duo in the league. The best offensive line in the league.
You win one Super Bowl and we supposed to believe this is the greatest team ever assembled?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say just because we won one Super Bowl. Can you name a flaw on the Philadelphia Eagles?
You don't have the best run game in the league, by the way. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you name a flaw on the Philadelphia Eagles?
Your quarterback.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
that you lost your coordinator.
Yeah, keep losing offense. Because
maybe I'm trying to think.
You can't say it's not a flaw because the Chiefs weren't able to expose him. The Chiefs aren't the best team ever, so I think that's a fallacy. It is a flaw. I think Hurts is a flaw, and there are teams of yesteryear who, granted, they still may not be better overall than the Eagles, but their defenses in the past for sure that could.
Oh, you're talking about the best team overall, like ever.
And
okay,
that's his talking point right now. So I'm saying, like, I do think you all have, like, even with the coaching point, like Sirianni was good this year in the playoffs. Doesn't mean that there are other coaches who could expose him, or make his job more difficult. And I think it's just a fallacy to run off of, oh, well, they dominated in this playoffs and they beat the shit out of the Chiefs, who was everyone's betting favorite. So now all of a sudden they're the best team ever.
No, it's not even that. It's just the way they dominated after the bye, Wes. They went 17-1 after the bye. Their defense beat the fuck out of everybody. I mean, they beat good teams on the way there. They made the Ravens' best offense that Lamar's ever had look regular. against a great offensive team all year. They went and Jaden Daniels was
I mean, I was
fucking
told they was slumping anyway, bro. I was told
well,
it wasn't
whatever. I don't
real.
care.
You know,
And you're saying that the flaw is the quarterback. The
By
dude
the
has
way, by the
only
way, Jaden Daniels didn't have no bad games. By the way,
he did have a bad game against us. What the fuck?
all right.
Anyway, Hurts is being the flaw is just because because in your opinion he's the weakest part of our team. That just shows how great the team is because he's a top 5, in my opinion, quarterback in this league, and his game fucking reaches a
yeah,
different
but
level.
you're speaking to ever, so it's not just relative to this league. It's
Yeah, I
relative
know.
to the best teams of all time. And when I bring up teams that have Tom Brady on them, or Peyton Manning, or freaking like I can stop there. Those
Yeah,
two guys.
but those guys.
There's
Oh,
a mm,
this is
come
one of
on.
the best defenses in a long time to combat with one of the
I don't
best
understand that
offenses.
point. Let West finish. Explain that point.
Explain that point in terms of what? I just
The
Make
Tom
sure I
Brady
like
and
the
Peyton
video.
Manning
Make sure
point.
I like the video.
I'm
Make sure I
saying there are
subscribe. Make sure I
teams
subscribe.
that they play for, especially Brady, that have like that have a better offense. There's a specific team that just did. They broke every historical record that was ever known, right? So there's a team that like that exists. Now, again, if the Eagles D line can get to him, they can muck up the game. But if they can't, he could also dice them up. Like I
You're
just
talking
think
about
that
the undefeated team, right?
that's one team. I think there are other
I mean,
iterations,
but
but
that
yeah,
team
I'm
didn't
talking
win,
about
so
that team
we
for sure.
can't be bringing up teams that
Right. They
didn't win
didn't
Super
win
Bowls as
anything.
best ever. That's not how that worked, bro. You didn't win a Super Bowl. You can't be in these conversations.
That's I don't agree. I
And
don't
you're just
agree
wrong.
with
I just
that.
think you're wrong. You cannot bring
I
up a
don't
team
think
that
it
didn't win a
fucking
Super Bowl
matters
as one of
whether or
the
not
best
I'm
ever
right or
teams and
wrong.
compare
I
it to a
think
team that won a Super Bowl.
my
That
point
team
isn't
lost to the
about
fucking New
right or
York
wrong.
Giants.
My
That team
point
lost
is
to the fucking New
about
York Giants.
there are
This
other
team
teams
kill that New
in the
York Giants
history
team, and
of
it
the
won't even
league.
fucking
There
close.
are other teams in the history of the league that have had rosters and have been able to put together things that I think if they had to face off with the Eagles, they may lose. They also may win. And I think they have less question marks in terms of if like we put them in a simulation and we started pinpointing, okay, how could things go wrong for this team and how could things go right for this team, etc. I think you may still fall on the side where the team that we're putting up against the Eagles, not saying it's a lot, it may be 1, it may be 0, it may be 3, but the teams that we may put against the Eagles where they have less avenues to fail, as opposed to because I truly do think Hurts, like as good as well as he played this year, in his standing in the league currently, I don't think that has like a real hold on the history of the league.
No,
Like
I mean I'm not saying that though. I don't even think he's like that. I think that
bringing
he's
up
going.
all time teams. So when you bring up all time teams process, you have to
But
take
that's
that into
because
account.
how great the team is. I think that those fucking Patriots teams, they're great, no doubt about it, bro. Our defense is stacked from top to bottom. Our offensive line in our trenches is some of the best that
Do
we've
you know?
seen.
Do you know what stack means?
Yeah, I do, dumbass. And we have one of the best running backs I've ever fucking seen. So again, the Eagles can beat you in a multitude of ways. They can run the ball down your throat, and if you're gonna go and try and load the box up and stop that, Jalen Hurts can beat you, and he proved that going up against a great defense this year, a great defense with one of the best coaches and one of the best defense coordinators we've seen, and one of the best offensive minds we've ever seen in Andy Reid. They dismantled that fucking team. You're talking about the Patriots. They have a great coaching staff, great mind, Bill Belichick, all that shit. We just destroyed one of the best coaching duos of all time. Like dismantled them with Jalen Hurts at the helm. So if you're gonna go in there and you're gonna try and stop the run game and
Joe
Saquon
Burrow
Barkley,
did that too.
he's dotting you the fuck up. If you don't fucking want to stop the run game, he's gonna run for 200 fucking yards on you, and the game's gonna be over. And in the meantime, you got to deal with a guy who's been called the new Aaron Donald on the other side, of fucking two rookies that have been stout defensively as cornerbacks, one of the best linebackers in the league this year, to go along with amazing edge rushers that played an amazing fucking football game in the Super Bowl, and they've been great all year. So and then combat it with the best offensive line in the fucking world.
Yeah, I think you make really valid points. I just We're talking all-time teams. I think where I'm landing is even if they are the most complete team ever, it doesn't make them necessarily the best. And I don't know that I would put my money on them beating like any other top team in the simulation. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe. I mean,
bro,
look,
you brought
it
up a
all
team that
comes
lost
down
to
to,
Eli Manning, bro.
A
and it
great
all comes.
defense, but they weren't even the third best team in their own division. Go ahead, though.
I made an example, bro. I
The
gave an
problem
example.
is you're still skeptical on Hurts, and I get it, but he's
Not just that though. Like also, again, I think there are teams, and it would be interesting to see, to say the least, because football has changed so much. So it's tough to even have some of these conversations with early
right.
2000s teams, or the brink of the 2010s and shit like that. But yeah, I think there are other teams, like other defenses, that are definitely better than the Chiefs defense, that even if they didn't have the offense that you all have, their defense in that chess match of a game, just, hey, how do they stack up against your offense? What things would they be great at taking away? What things would they inevitably just give up? And how would it, all land? I think those are interesting things. And I would love to, maybe fire up the old Madden and see
What
what's up with
defense
the
though? Give me an
simulation.
example. What
I
defense?
know what he's going towards
I
Seattle.
No, I'm not even just saying Seattle or any in particular. I said I would just be interested to see other teams that have had great defenses, like all-time great
Seattle
defenses,
couldn't guard Brandon
and
LaFell
see
and
how,
Julian Edelman.
again, I didn't say them.
I'm talking about process. They couldn't guard Brandon LaFell and Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola. Get them guys out of here.
Okay. Good convo. Good starter to the show today. Lasted an hour and some change. Two quick questions, real quick. Should anyone look into Aaron Rodgers? They just informed him they're moving on. Should anybody look into Aaron Rodgers?
Like
Yeah,
a team that
supermodel.
wants to compete.
Supermodel, yeah.
Yeah, the Steelers.
Like a
Supermodel.
team that wants to compete. Ed?
Nah.
It's
Teams that need
anybody.
Or
teams that
just
need a
like any team?
Yeah,
QB
any
coach or OC or something like that, maybe.
Whatever
I don't
team
A
that's
college team that need an
picking and
OC.
like
Retirement home.
I can't hear.
that.
Shaggy said retiring. Z Farm said Steelers. Who you say? Who you saying? Ari? Jordan
I
Wood said
personally
Steelers.
think retirement, but I think he's gonna will himself to play because he's gonna be salty that they cut him.
He's such a fucking
Um,
loser.
and so I don't think any of the three teams, like I don't think any of the top 5 teams in the draft right now should look at him. But maybe I don't think the Raiders look at him. Maybe Pittsburgh, but I don't think that works well there. Like I'm struggling to find a team.
Pittsburgh's the only thing that I guess a little
Yeah.
bit makes sense, but
Oh,
honestly,
no.
why
Aaron
the
Rodgers
fuck
and
would
Mike
they do
Tomlin
that?
don't make sense at all.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't think that
I don't know
works.
why they would even do it. Like, it's just dumb.
I
But
mean, maybe the Colts.
did you see they
No.
want to get what's his name? Lawrence?
I saw that.
Huh? The Steelers are looking at Trevor Lawrence.
Steelers are looking to
Yeah,
get trade talks for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, they formally requested
they reached out. Yeah.
information on him. Yeah,
The Jags won't trade him, but that's funny.
which
That
I would
actually-
think I think
Were
would
they
be a great move
denied?
for T-Law and Pittsburgh. But
What'd you say
yeah,
was?
I don't think the Jags would ever do that.
So were they
Yeah.
granted access or were they denied?
No,
were
they
denied.
sent them. I think they were denied, but I think their trade, like their offer, a rumor of what their offer was like obviously first round pick this year, and then I think a few like seconds and thirds in like the coming years.
I like
Um,
Lawrence a lot. I think he's like I just don't know what the fuck is wrong with him.
Imagine he was on the Eagles.
well, everybody says it's his coach, so he got a new coach. So maybe this
Same
will
thing that was
work.
wrong with him in college. Went to that for
Kurt,
that 1
Kurt,
year.
I might say his name wrong. Kurt Benkert, whatever. I
Mhm.
know I'm talking about that NFL guy. I
Mhm.
just got on my timeline. He tweeted this 15 seconds ago. Sleeper tweeted who Aaron Rodgers should play for blank in 2025, 2026. He listed Vikings, Rams, Colts, Raiders, or Browns.
Rams. Why
The
the
Rams will be
fuck would the
stupid.
Rams do that?
Might as well
Maybe the
keep
Browns and
Stafford.
Colts. I guess the Browns and Colts have a
The
little.
Browns have a second round pick. If you're gonna move on from quarterback, just draft one.
Mhm. I don't know, bro. The
It's because you
Colts,
draft one of them, you gotta start
Draft
him though.
move, everybody's gone.
I mean, but Aaron Rod, that's stupid though.
Yeah,
I don't know why people are linking
Like
Minnesota.
that match, I agree with you, Ev, just
It
because
makes
you
no
draft when you
sense.
ain't got to start him.
Yeah.
But
For that 1 year.
yeah, but Aaron ain't that kind of quarterback. He ain't gonna want to be on another 1 year deal. He's probably gonna ask for a 2-year
A-Rod
deal.
is not playing 2 years. No way in hell. I don't think he plays
I
another
don't
2
think
years.
he
I mean,
should.
shit,
I
he's
think he
not
should
playing next
retire,
year.
but I
He's
think he
playing this
will.
year. He's
No,
not
but I'm
playing
saying
this
if he
year.
does play this year, he's definitely not. He's definitely playing one more year. Like if he does, he's definitely playing one more. Like I don't think it'll be 2.
He's a fucking idiot, bro. Just retire. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
he should honestly just go. But I don't think he's gonna like the ending of this season. I don't think he wants this to be the last year of his career.
He
Not saying
doesn't
next year
want.
will be better.
He doesn't
Next
want
year it
his
won't be
career
better.
ending being the Jets cut me.
He's an arrogant prick. That's his fucking
He
problem.
just wants to go
all
out his
that
way.
shit can be
That's all it
true,
is.
but he also had a terrible O-line this year. And I think if you give Rodgers a good line, like if you give him a Hurts level line now, I'm not saying that is even possible for another team. I'm just saying if you give him a really good line, I think he can still win games. I think, I don't know.
And that's
If
the
he
problem.
wants
He's
to play, I
41
will
and he
want
needs
him.
a Eagles level line. Just retire.
The only other level line like
41,
that
bro.
is the
He's
Lions.
41. Go have some kids, bro. The man has no life. That's the problem with that guy. He has no life. You're
Nigga,
41.
his life is football,
Get
bro.
out of here.
Y'all
Get out of
kill me
here.
with that shit, bro.
Bye. Go. Move on.
Fuck niggas gotta have kids for.
I got a question. Do you think A-Rod is a solidified first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Nigga,
What?
Bro, go ask that to somebody else. You know what he was going to say.
Bro.
Josiah, no question is a dumb question.
No,
Bro.
I think he
No,
was asking.
no.
Wait, Josiah, were you asking because of his off the field stuff?
No, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
dumb question.
Yeah.
But it
Bruh,
came.
Okay.
how was it a dumb question if he was genuinely curious? He wanted to know. He didn't know.
He was asking because
That
of
was a
his
dumb
off the
question. He knew
field
the answer,
It
bro.
whatever.
He
came
knew the
from
answer to that
the
question, bro.
Wait,
Stop treating him like that. He
Wait,
knew
but
the answer.
hold on. Like what? I'm not trying to get political here, but what? Like it's not horrible to get him off, but like, I mean, what? I mean, denial. I mean, all us. You know what? Forget about it. But it's not that bad. It's not AB level.
No,
he
like
really
off
got
the
no
field,
off-
not like
It's-
off the
it's
field,
not
like out
AB
of
level.
football. I think they would probably. I think he was asking because there's been talk about Aaron's attitude
Man, it's Aaron
and
Rodgers, bro.
all that shit. I don't
Bro,
know.
this
I'm
not
just trying to.
T.O., bro.
I'm just
Yeah,
trying
that's
to.
not off the field
He's not
issues.
TOAB
That's not
level
off the
where
field
they're
issues.
gonna hold him
Okay,
off.
well then
This
that's
is
not
this
off
is
the field
Aaron
issue.
Rodgers,
But
Josh.
I'm just trying to help
Bro,
Josiah
that
out.
came from the rhetoric on the stage, bro. That was a terrible question, but I fuck with the science.
All right. Listen. Thank y'all for the responses to the Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, good luck.
No, that really just made me mad. I'm sorry. Like that like go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers, whatever you decide to do, good luck. Jordan, your camera just came on.
Yeah, no, it's just a computer, bro. Don't worry about it.
Everybody that's in here, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed already. Road to 1,000, super duper close. Also, make sure y'all like the video. Yeah, subscribe, like the video, and also become a member if you are not a member. The link in the description on the video to become a member. I'm going to go ahead and take this next question to Wes. Y'all can respond in the chat if you want to, or you can come on the stage. And also, I'm going to ask everybody else on the stage. I got a couple of my answers to the question, but I don't got everything. So let's see what Wes do on the fly. Wes, my brother, obviously it's been a talking point to how NBA All-Star Weekend just don't hit the same anymore as we grew up. You know, as we were growing up and things like that. You know, we now in our late 20s, mid 20s, some even early 20s. How would you make All-Star Weekend better if it was up to you?
Lower salaries.
Lower salaries? What'd you say?
Yeah, which isn't gonna happen. So there's no fix. You're laughing. I'm dead ass. Like there's no fix. There, when niggas weren't getting paid at such an astronomical level, I think the incentives of All-Star, because the winning team won money. It's always been that way. So like the incentives just meant more because it was like, oh, I could use the extra whatever because niggas weren't walking around who were billionaires on the court playing basketball. Like there are currently 3 guys who are on track. There's one guy who is a billionaire. There are 2 others who are on track to become billionaires at some point if they continue to just ascend in the manner in which they're moving, and that's Durant and Curry. So I just bro. Too much money. Too much money, man.
Okay. I'm gonna try to attack it. One, I think sometimes when you get older, or when the years continue to go by, you try to elevate and evolve. And I think sometimes that's not necessarily always needed. So if it was up to me, to sort of kind of better the All-Star weekend or get it back to what it once was, in a sense, for me, I would bring back the original skills challenge. For what I grew up watching, Dwayne Wade competing in it, Chris Paul and all these Derrick Rose and more guys of that nature. Just go back to the original skills challenge, the whole little two things and shooting from different spots on the court. Not really a fan of that. Also, bring it back to sort of kind of like rookie versus sophomores. Like, keep it originally what it was. Like, I think that was a good thing. We've seen a lot of good games in those aspects, and we've seen it helped us know who's next, in my opinion. Whenever the rookies and sophomores went against each other, it helped us know, okay, these players are going to be next. This player is going to pop. This player is going to do this in year 3, 4, etc. We've seen a lot of guys that became stars, and they use that game to showcase their talent and also become all-stars in an all-star game. So bring back the original way, the original team selection, I would say. I like the celebrity game. I don't got a problem with celebrity game. I think celebrity is a cool opening for the Friday. Typically, that's on Friday. I don't got no problem with the celebrity game. The 3-point contest is cool.
Shit sucks.
Yeah, but you can't really replace that with nothing for real. Like,
Did you see the NFL's like celebrity game, the Kai
that shit.
versus?
Yeah, I saw all them celebrities. Yeah, that shit was ass though.
That shit was ass too.
Yeah, that shit.
I didn't think that was a little bit better than what we had.
That's for the kids and shit, bro.
Yeah,
But that's true though. It's for the fans. It's not Jaller fans, but it's for like.
But that's not supposed to be good. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like
It's
that's supposed to just be like entertainment for the kids. They brought a lot of fucking ads.
It's to sell ads, bro. Like that's literally it.
Well,
to sell ads.
Yeah, they got the space. We're gonna
run
sell ads.
Yeah,
that's it.
Tell us what you would do with the 3-point contest.
Yeah, my Friday stays the same. Bring back the original skill challenge. Bring back the original Rising Stars game. Original skill challenge, Rising Stars. The 3-point contest is totally fine with me. I got no issue with the 3-point contest. I think what people look forward to the most in the All-Star weekend was the main two things. One, also bring back the original All-Star game. Like, I don't know why they started the whole little points for you get to 170 first, whatever. You switch halves and different points, and it's going to charity and all that type of. Bring back the original All. The game do stuck, but bring back the original All-Star game.
So that's not a real fix, Ev.
Yeah, it's not a real fix, but at least I'm pointing to the skills challenge in the Rising Stars game. That helps in some sense a little bit.
I didn't speak on those. I find things that I think could work. The All-Star game, the one that you're speaking to now, I don't think that's a fix. That's all I'm saying.
No, yeah. The dunk contest, I genuinely think that's no fix though. I think that just needs to be abolished. Personally, I just think it needs to go. So, I mean, I don't know, bro. I'll just start with the Rising Star game and
that was the harder All-Star weekend.
It was,
and that's gone.
Yeah, not everything is meant to
real
be.
Reason it's over, bro. Like,
yeah, like you don't have this. Like, think about it.
Made it fun.
You used to stay up on a Saturday, 10 o'clock, waiting for the dunk contest. You don't do that no more.
The dunk contest can be salvaged, though, bro. The real issue is again. I'll say it's not a money thing. That's fine. It is what it is. But if players were more incentivized to do it, if it really made a difference, I think maybe we would see some of the shit. Like Zion and Ja, 1000% should have done a dunk contest. There's no, even if the dunks were not gonna be dunk contests are made off of like either star power or niggas who could really, 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 really fly. And it was known and who, may have the potential to become stars. Dunk contests aren't made off of G Leaguers. Dunk contests aren't made off of the role player that is never going to be a guy. Unless it's a nigga like, again, who can really, really fly. Nate Robinson. Shit like that. And who have personalities. That's another thing, bro. These niggas aren't interesting. Like,
do you think
I think we've seen every dunk, bro.
I can.
Let me change that.
I might be wrong.
I do think we've seen a fair share. Like, it's only so much more innovative you can get.
No, I think this though, Wes. I think we've seen all the dunks NBA niggas can do. That
95,
NBA
yeah,
players can pull
humanly
off.
possible. Yeah.
Mac McClung
Nah,
did some shit
it's other
last
people
year.
that be doing some
They
crazy.
can
I
bring
keep
in
saying all mine.
Jordan.
They
What's
be
it?
doing some
Jordan
crazy dunks.
Kilgannon. That's his name.
But
He about
NBA
the dunk
niggas ain't
show.
gonna attempt the dunks they be trying.
Yeah.
That
Them
could be a
Yeah,
niggas
good
be
what was
doing
you
point.
gonna
crazy
say?
That
shit.
could be a good point.
There was some crazy dunks. This NBA niggas not gonna attempt it.
Yeah,
What's
that's actually a good
crazy
point.
is
Risk
that
I
getting
was
hurt.
actually,
Stephen A.
oh,
Smith said that a few years ago. He said they just need to do a tour leading up to the NBA like dunk contest and just be like all the best dunkers in this city come out and whoever wins, nigga, you get to go to the NBA dunk contest and whoever wins that wins a bigger prize.
Who the fuck wants to see that though?
Bro,
I
I
don't.
think they
I'm
they
with
they
I'm with
they,
West. I'm
they,
with West. I'm with West
they're
on that.
overthinking it, bro. Not the stage with the NBA. Like in most things, the only thing that's really gonna change it is money or time. Either, and what I mean by the time aspect is things are gonna have ebbs and flows. These are gonna go up and down. Like
Facts.
I think it's fine for things to be down a little bit. It don't mean you always got to change shit.
yeah.
You do need other guys. You need what you really need is some dudes that are coming to the league that want to do the shit organically and that are good dunkers. Is where we talking about the dunk contest, or you need to incentivize with money. That's really it. Like all this other gimmick shit going on tours and bringing these other that shit.
Bro, the
Nobody
dunk
care about that
contest gonna
shit, bro.
forever be ass, bro. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. It's not gonna be
nobody
the
wants to
same.
see the fucking professor or some
This
random Joe from Baltimore fucking
this
dunking
shit
in
could
it.
be ass,
Nobody
bro.
wants to see that shit.
It's
Like
gonna
I
be
don't
that.
think it'll forever be
Nobody
ass.
wants to see that shit.
Hey, look, I
Every
think it
dunk, it's
sucks.
gonna come to the point where we gonna see Zion in the dunk contest, and we gonna be like, oh, he did that dunk we seen that years ago.
No,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah,
I disagree. I think Zion doing something in the way in which he would execute it, the way in which he would execute it, aesthetically, it looks better sometimes, and they're just bigger stars.
yeah.
So I think people are conditioned to when they see Zion dunk to go crazy, when they see Ja dunk to go crazy, as opposed to when they see fucking Matas Buzelis.
Yeah, I
Nigga,
go
dunk
crazy
is
when I see Ja
crazy.
dunk on somebody though, West. Not just no regular slam.
No, I feel that, but I still think like conditioning is real, and people when there's a certain level of cachet that comes with Ja Morant and dunking, with Zion Williamson and dunking, with Zach LaVine and dunking, and Aaron Gordon. Boom, 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 boom. This goes on. Now I don't want to see Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon again, just because I think they're probably too
Do
old
like the
to
main NBA
execute.
That's the
players
bar. That's the
even
bar right there.
go to the dunk contest anymore?
They don't go
They
anywhere,
don't
Listen,
bro.
man.
participate,
Listen,
and that's
listen.
the
I ain't
Because I was
gonna
about to
problem.
lie.
say that's also what Wes is saying is true in the sense that like niggas fans are gonna be like, oh that shit was lit if the players were like, oh that shit was lit. Like one of the dunks were good, but like nigga, I still see compilations of fucking Draymond, Kenny, LeBron's like reacting. Look how they reacted to the dunk because they made the shit seem like it was fucking amazing.
Listen,
They don't even go no more.
I
That's
don't care
another
about
thing. When
what dunks
Shaq
they
used to
do.
be courtside was
It's the
fun.
entertainment to it. I saw Kai Cenat get dunked over last year. I could probably
Mhm.
dunk over Kai Cenat if I had the vertical. I'm gonna be honest. Listen,
Nah, that's a,
No,
that's a
Did he
fact.
even fully clear
they
him?
you
Nah,
can
that's a
jump.
fact
You
though.
can jump over
I
Castanet.
can maybe jump over him
That's
right now. I ain't gonna
yeah,
lie.
you don't even gotta complete the dunk. You can jump over him though.
I could
I can
definitely
maybe
jump
jump
over
like
Snap, bro.
Like,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's
gonna
the
hold you.
problem.
you can jump over
Listen,
Castanet, bro.
and this
Bro,
is
that nigga is 5'3", bro.
exactly like
Five, five,
and they had him
Yeah.
sitting in a chair, bro, in a chair.
5'3".
He's like three. No, I might get it, but they need to bring back the entertainment. Like, I watched Blake Griffin's back a couple days ago. He brought a choir out. He jumped over a Kia car. I believe I can fly. You know, they were singing that shit. Oh my god, it was beautiful. It
I
was beautiful.
remember the
Everybody was
freaking
standing
Victor
on their
Nah,
feet. They were
Oladipo
don't get
one
me
with
cheering.
the
wrong.
Black
That
They were
shit
Panther
was
clapping. They
mask
were
and
ass though.
singing.
shit.
They need
The
to bring
car
that
shit
shit
was
back.
ass, but guess what? It was Blake Griffin.
If Zion did that shit, oh my god, it'd be
Nah,
on Twitter
at
Yeah,
the
all
time,
week
at the time,
long,
I'm
the
bro.
with
car
I
Wes
wasn't
ain't
on
gonna
that.
ass,
lie.
West.
I'm with Wes on that.
At
But
the
let me
time,
ask
the
y'all a
car shit
question.
wasn't ass, though, West.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all
I
think that?
promise
Do
you, it
y'all
was
think
very
that?
basic.
Oh, y'all said at the time the car shit was ass.
No, at
I
the
said it
time
was
it
very
wasn't.
No, at the
basic.
time
Now,
it was
Yeah, at the time
lit.
it wasn't. Yeah, at
That's
the
some
time it wasn't.
wagon.
Yeah, at the
at the
time it
time it
wasn't.
wasn't.
I
I
think
feel like the only
it
way it's
was.
gonna be cool if they jump over like a Jeep.
I,
Yeah, that'd be wild.
I
I
mean,
didn't see
yeah,
a Kia.
that would be wild. But
Yeah, that'd be
my greater point is,
Miles was good.
it was something very regular. It was the idea of having a car brought out on the court
Yeah,
that was new, and it was Blake Griffin did it.
yeah,
So again,
and I'm with you on that.
I agree that won't, like, the car thing exactly may not work unless it's a Jeep, like Ari said. But the point is, if you do something, to Z Farm's point, that's creative and that's new, that's just fresh and invigorating, and you attach the right person to it, it'll get niggas hype.
They
But
gotta
let me
That's
also
what
get
I
all the
told you.
best.
We
They
didn't
gotta
say
also
everything,
get
bro.
they gotta
yeah,
also get all
Miles.
the best players there back. Like Ari said, I do
That's
think
what I was about
the
to say.
course.
Because I was about to say that because like y'all know, bro, the only way this shit is really deep down really going to change or shift back again if these best guys, these stars / superstar guys to their market relative to their team compete in the dunk contest again. Because we getting, bro, I knew shit was fucked when they brought what's the name, the white boy. We know he got bounced. He didn't
McClung.
get
McClung.
McClung. When he got like, come on, bro. Like we know he got bounced. We know he can jump, but like this, I
But
think
he
he's back
wasn't
there.
even
This
on the
shit
But
team
I
at that
also
time, right? He was just on a
exactly. He wasn't even
two-way.
on the team.
Really,
He
I
wasn't
yeah,
even
also
on the
it's the
think
team.
same thing
I
every
also think
year.
just them being there is something too, and I think that
Yeah.
goes into a broader conversation of the schedule. Like they do this with the All Star, where like there's a couple days off, and then the players got to report. I think they need to make it a little bit longer of a break and have the trade off for the players be if we can get the best players there, just in the city where the game is being held and at the events, and make it like almost like a the NBA is like national display, like their national conference, whatever you want to call it, like have it be like a cultural like fraternizing type of thing amongst all the
No
players.
incentive anymore. Niggas are too rich.
But
So
you can incentive. But
And
this is
it's
what I'm
not
saying.
exclusive anymore. Like
But
that's
I'm saying
another
you
thing.
can that's something you can collectively bargain and incentivize. Like this a
I
broader
mean, but
conversation.
how much are you gonna do to continue to put money in niggas' pockets? And like I think
Well, it depends on how much the viewership for these events continue to go down, and if they in their next TV deal, if they lose what they otherwise would because of that, of
Yeah.
because of those numbers going
There's
down,
a way
Let
to
me tell
make
you
the
what
it
I
hit.
numbers.
There's a way to make it
let me
hit
tell
their
you what I really think,
pockets.
Jay Woods. Let me tell you what I really think, Jay
I
Woods.
don't
And
know.
I'm not saying they at fault. I think it's the players, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's the players.
1,000% the players.
I
Well,
think,
yeah,
bro,
well,
I
it
think it's to the
is.
point where it's just like, and it's not no problem with it. They like, fuck it. It's another year All
And,
Star, so what? It's that simple for me,
and I was
bro.
about to,
I'm not mad at it.
It's
that's what I was about
another
to say.
year. Fuck it.
That's why I
That's what
said
I was about to say.
time, Shaggy.
Some
Why do
shit
y'all
just get
think?
old for people, bro.
That's why I
Why do y'all
said. That's why
think
I
the
said.
player?
Oh, sorry, Ed.
No, you good. You good. You good.
No,
Because Shaggy going
that's
while it's going. Go ahead. You good.
yeah. Because I think that's why I said time. Like I'm not mad at the shit. Like going lower priority for play. Like it just happens, which goes to your point, Ed. Like they don't necessarily mean to always change shit. That don't mean you got to go change and shit trying to chase. Because guess what? You can change all the shit you want. If the players' mindsets or the players' mindset, none of that shit
Exactly.
gonna matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before Miles give his idea, why do y'all think? Because bro, deep down they know they're in control of what can shift this shit. The Ja Morants, the Anthony Edwards, the Zions, whoever you want to think of, they know they're in control of shifting this shit back to. Bro, if Zion and Ja was at an All-Star game, all them stars and players that Jordan's speaking to, they will be there. They
Bro,
all
that's
will
a
be
fact.
there.
They need to, bro.
They
They need to.
Nigga,
Me personally, what I
what's
would want to see, I want to see the go getters in
$500,000
that
in a
motherfucker.
trophy to a nigga who, like, bro, I make that it's just, again, the incentive isn't great enough. Like,
I think part of it is what
Bro,
Wes.
niggas
no,
I
got
the
think.
too
Well,
rich.
incentive is not
I
great
think
enough
Niggas
the
for the
got too
old
rich,
guys,
bro.
Wes. I'm not
That's just
feeling
what
that.
it is.
It's not great enough for the
for
old
the
guys. I'm
old
sorry.
guys.
who are
Yeah.
The
y'all young
old
niggas to come into
Even
the
for the
league and say
young,
this shit not good?
bro,
Nigga,
we're
put
talking
on,
about
nigga.
Ja and Zion.
Make history. Put on.
I'm not talking about the dunk contest. I'm talking about the All Star game, Wes.
Oh, the All-Star, that
What
shit over with.
okay, they're not in it this year, but what, like, of the new guys, the crop of new guys who are coming in, I think Shaggy makes a good point. With some of them, they could it's the tone that's been set, but also there's so many other interests, and this is what I'm saying. Like, this is such a bigger business now than it was. There's so much more money in it. There's so much more money involved. When money gets involved, people change and feelings change, and everything has, like, that. It tracks for all of, like, the history. Like, it's always been that way, and now it's so different, bro. Like, niggas back, we were growing up, I think early 2000s, that was the thing. It was, oh, if I'm in the league, boom, 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 this is everything, and everything that comes along with it is the biggest thing. Even sponsorship dollars were different. Now you got niggas signing lifetime contracts for $1 billion. It's totally different.
I think
Sponsorships back then used to be, yo, if I could get 2 million and, like, have all the gear, I'm cool. Now niggas starting at prices. Yeah, I'm not signing a deal if it's not, at least 80. Like things have just drastically changed, bro.
I
Things
think
money
going
changed.
I think going to Wes's point also about incentive. This isn't about the players, and y'all might be like, no, she tripping. I also think a large part, not a large part, but I think a part of like making them to even like want to come, right? To go watch. Like, why do I need to show up anytime before I need to show? If I'm playing an All-Star game, why I need to show up or go to any other thing that I want to do just to go see the rest of the shit? If the game is in Indianapolis, Indiana, or Salt Lake City, Utah, or Cleveland, Ohio. I just scrolled back because I decided to go look it up. And I'm looking at the locations for these other All-Star games going all the way back to 2000. None of them were in cities that kind of ranked out of the top 15 in terms of population. Philadelphia, DC, Atlanta, hella in California, Vegas, Houston, Denver, New Orleans is probably the smallest city on there. Dallas, Phoenix, LA again, Orlando, Houston, New Orleans, New York, Toronto, New Orleans, LA. Then you get to Charlotte. And then you get to Chicago. Then you get to Atlanta. Also, like, why is a nigga gonna want to show up anyway? I'm not going to fucking Indiana. What do I need to go to Indiana for? Or why do I need to stay in Indiana? Why do I need to invest? Why do I need to be around in Indiana? Nigga, I'm here to play in this game and then go.
I ain't gonna lie, Ori. You talking about the players, right? I think that's
Yeah, the
Indiana
players. That's the
All-Star game was
players.
pretty straight. Y'all, it's toward the old niggas for me. These young niggas gonna go regardless. Yeah, the young niggas was there in Indianapolis last year.
But I'm talking about like it's more than just the play. Like the entire feel of All-Star Weekend is not what it used to be when we were younger. And part of that is obviously a large part of that is players. Ed left or Ed John. He might have lost connection. It's players. But like another part is it like making it like to help make All-Star a destination again. You also need to put it in a place where motherfuckers want to go.
I mean,
Like where do I want to show up? Why do
I
I want to be? Where do I want to be? Because if you boost it that way, and I'm not saying this is probably a smaller issue, but I would not like I would be very interesting to see. I would be very interested in seeing like there's a reason why the NFL they already know the Pro Bowl is probably gonna suck, right? And they already know people don't really necessarily really want to show up, but they put that shit in two cities, Orlando and Vegas. Why? Because people want to go to Orlando with their families and niggas want to go to Vegas. They don't move the shit around like it would be harder, but they don't move the shit around like the NBA does. They stick to certain cities and say, I know for sure I can get them here.
Yeah, I think
They could change a lot of that just with how they
it's
schedule
different,
shit.
though, because they're out. They're outside. Some of their decisions are rooted in that, like, oh,
Yeah.
we have to be outside, so we're not going to a cold weather city. And then for the NFL, I mean, for the NBA, everything is indoors, and it's like, hey, we want to at least give every team an opportunity to get the All-Star. They let them bid, whoever
To host
wins,
and shit
wins.
with.
They go through that process. You said what?
I said basically just to give these other not smaller market cities like the Clevelands, the Charlottes, and then the Indianapolis to host Austin. Well, I mean it helps the city and it helps the NBA, I guess, because you got those fans in those other places who can't go to these Houston's, Atlanta, the California all the fucking time.
If you live in Indiana, you can go to an All-Star game in Chicago.
I mean,
But
or if you live in, like for me, I live in Ohio. I went to the All-Star game in Indianapolis. That shit was lit. It was a great
But
time. It
if
was
they-
snow on the ground, but that shit was good. It
if they
was
simply
good.
change how they schedule this shit though, like they can make it so they can schedule this shit so the players kind of have to be there earlier, like when they schedule the practices and the press conferences and all that shit, because they
Yeah.
have to attend it. Like it's simple things that could help even just a little bit, but that would involve, I think,
You were tripping.
bro.
And
What?
listen,
How am I tripping?
I said goods, not
Oh,
words.
goods. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
you saw his it's never been
no,
good
you
thing.
said goods.
What did you
You're
say?
here. You're here.
He said it's never been
Okay.
good. It's all nostalgia, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I disagree with that.
All-Star game used to be, bro. Saturday night used to be something you didn't want to miss.
I wasn't
Facts.
even mad at I know they probably played hard for Kobe that year, but I wasn't mad at that year.
That
Like
shit was
that.
cool. Yeah, that shit was cool.
Yeah,
I missed what you said,
there
Miles.
are
What was your idea,
years
Miles?
when we've been adults teenagers where
I got
we
you
were
though,
old
yeah.
enough.
I got
Go
you.
ahead.
Now you good. What's teenagers who order?
Hey, Wes, rock out.
I
I'm
was saying there are
bullying
years where we were adults, either young adults or teens, who were old enough to not be enamored with, oh my gosh, it's the NBA. Like it wasn't a, oh my gosh, look, like, no. There were years where we were old enough to understand what's good, what's not good, what was going on. And niggas are not gonna tell me Aaron Gordon and fucking Zach LaVine
That was lit.
wasn't amazing. Like the shit
Nigga,
was
that was the
amazing. You
best dunk
still go back
contest
and
to
That
watch
was
date.
it.
really
Okay,
fucking
this
lit.
shit was
It was
amazing.
really good. You niggas not gonna tell me the year where, rest his soul, Kobe died. Like that wasn't a good game to the close. And what they did, and they didn't play with more urgency. Like they cared that year. And I think that's what it comes down to. Like, what is our incentive? When it's respecting the game, you shot it. They showed up, showed out, and wanted to respect a guy's legacy who had meant so much to the league. And,
Agree with that.
just what he did. And I
Yeah.
think that's what it's always going to be.
Bruh,
No, I
what,
think now that incentive shit is for the old players, bro. That's where I'm at, bro.
What you
but
gonna say,
not
Dom?
to what I was gonna say though, if I think that I think there is the issue with the All-Star game is they keep trying to frantically change some shit each year to find some shit that'll stick. If anything, just go back. I think what I've seen on the internet is like some small minor stuff. I don't know I don't know how much the league cares about the certain shit, but the marketing aspect of the All-Star game has gotten worse from what I've seen. The branding aspect of the All-Star game done gotten worse from what I've seen. They've like some certain events of the All-Star game was like certain stuff that was marquee. Nah, it's not. But it's the small minor stuff that can get fan engagement back. I mean, this probably some shit that nobody give a fuck about. But like, if they let them wear their own team's jersey in the All Star game, I think that should be pretty cool. I mean, that's just my own personal opinion. But just bringing it, not changing shit every year. If you keep changing shit, there's no attraction to it in my opinion. There's no reason to want to do it if you go all right. You gonna do a 3-on-3, you pick a team this year, or you gonna go back to the standard format the next year. They need to find some shit that they think will work and make it stick. All this constantly changing. They go that's the reason, in my opinion. That's one of the reasons, in my opinion, why that shit not gonna, it's just ass. Like, nobody gives a fuck. And the people that are doing these events are lesser name people, unless you're just a super tapped in with basketball. Like if you're like the average person would not know who Matt McClung is. He probably not because he don't won a dunk contest, I think once or
Yeah.
twice. But other than that, bro, ain't nobody gonna really know who that nigga is. They gotta get. I think once, and it's crazy to say, I think once the older players like retire, like the top of the faces that the NBA has, I think once those guys retire, I think it'll just have to be on the like the not the like the 7 to 10 year guys try to take a hold of the RSI game, make the shit important again. I don't think no amount of money can make them niggas want to do it. They get the fuck ton of money anyway. It's just they just have to want to. You know,
Yeah.
somebody gotta
Exactly.
if somebody gotta set the
Exactly.
example, regardless of who it is. I ain't gonna say that.
Exactly.
The old
They gotta tell these old heads stay home, bro. Get the young hungry guys out there who want to
yeah,
play
they
game.
gotta like it's like they got
Well, that's what
it's a
gets
couple things
voted
they
for,
gotta fix.
though.
And
They
listen,
vote for the old niggas.
to fix the well, first off, Ev, I want to go back to yours. The Rising Stars game, I don't mind sophomores, rookies. I think what they do before USA versus World. I
Yeah,
thought
Yeah,
World,
that team USA
yeah.
versus World
like
shit was
that was fine. It's better than what the fuck we got now. But I don't think they'll ever do this. But I do think they should implement this for the All-Star game. If you're doing East versus West, winner needs to host the first game of the NBA Finals. Home court advantage in the NBA Finals.
No,
Oh, like the
I-
NBA, like the
that's not
MLB
happening.
did.
That's where agent type. I
If
don't know.
that's-
Yeah, that's what the
Imagine
MLB
going
did.
out
It was
there.
good.
I thought they used to do that.
OKC. Imagine OKC go out this year and win 68 games and they don't get home court advantage because they lost the All-Star game. Like that's dumb as hell.
Get better
Like,
players.
no, stop it.
Get better
No.
players. Get
Stop it.
better players in the All-Star
That's
game.
stupid.
If J-Dub ain't that good, then all right.
A team full of
Sit at
15
home.
guys don't get the All-Star game because 2 guys got voted and they lost it. Like, no, that's dumb.
How's that dumb?
I just told you how. We win 70 games. But no, we don't get home court advantage because the East won. They don't even have a 60-win team.
Tough
Like,
shit. Get better players.
Get out of here, bro. It's
Be the
stupid.
Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, I think that.
That's not my
I
fault.
thought
J-Dub.
I
You're
thought
second best
that's how they used to
No,
do it.
that's
Am
how
I
the
tripping?
MLB does it.
That's how the
yeah,
MLB
that's
is. Yeah.
NBA never did
That's
that.
how
Well,
they
did
used
it?
to
I
do
don't know if they
That's how
still
Used
do
to
it
do
that
it.
way.
Used
do
to,
it
but
anymore.
I
They
think
don't do it
it's
no more.
kind of
Keep that
weird.
shit in MLB.
Is there a way for them to? Is there a way if they and I'm just literally thinking out loud. Is there a way that they could make the restructure their schedule so the in season tournament coincides during All Star Weekend?
That's a good idea.
I mean, I would.
They'll have to move
Like I
it
think they need, and the
a
only
little
reason I'm
bit.
thinking about stuff like that because they need to, if they really, if they're one of their goals is to really make this whole weekend get popping again, they're gonna have to change some major shit schedule wise. I really think the
Yeah.
schedule is why
Like
a lot of it,
when you say
what you're
during All
seeing,
Star Weekend, Jordan, you mean like
or
the
I think All
game?
Star,
Semifinals and finals.
I think
Okay.
there should be. I think the break period that they have right now should be a little bit of a longer break, and they should be doing probably like a 2 week break and have a week be full of these events, and then have a week be totally dead for these players to just be able to go wherever the fuck they want and go on vacation and recharge and all that shit, and then reconvene and have all these events during this week during a week as opposed to having a couple days off. I got to report for All-Star game practice, the game that I'm playing again on Tuesday or Wednesday.
I don't know how
Jor-
serious the talks were, but there was a rumor out there that the league is looking towards putting the NBA Cup kind of in its own schedule. So like there would be the regular season games, and then they do a set period where it's cup games and just cup games only. I don't know if that's something they're going to try and implement in the next couple of years, but if they could do that,
Jordan, was you trying to get
I
at
don't know.
them
But
adding
we'll see.
the NBA Cup championship in replacement of the All Star game, or just had the game during All Star weekend?
No,
Period.
no, you have to have an all-star. You have to have some sort of all-star game. Every
Yeah, he was
continental
saying put
major
it with
sport
it.
does it.
Not
He was saying to
having
put
an
it with
All
it.
Star game is kind of stupid.
Yeah, like
All Star
every
games
Oh,
are
sorry,
fan
I
events.
thought I
He
was
was saying
on
like
mute. The broader point is that whether
Have it during it.
whether you have it during it or not, that was just one idea that came to mind. But the broader
Yeah.
point is they need to make All-Star Weekend, I think, a broader portion of time, and it really needs to be made to be like, hey, this is the NBA showcasing their best and brightest over some time with different things. It's like not
Yeah.
just a compressed period of time where it's like you blink and it's over at 1 second. Like if they want to get their ratings back up, if they really want to make like the NBA feel like culturally, I guess,
In tune.
yeah, I think they need to get back to more of that. I think they need to really think outside the box about how they're doing things as opposed to just trying to make a small tweak here, a small tweak there, change a format here, change a format there, because it's not going to change the reality of, hey, I just left Salt Lake City, Utah after being on the road for however many days. I got to be in, where's the All-Star game this year? San Francisco
San
by
Fran.
Friday for All-Star practice for the game that's on Sunday. I got 2 or 3 days to go to Cabo real quick, as opposed to me having a week off, being able to go on that vacation, and then hey, maybe the trade off for that collectively bargain is I'm gonna be at this All-Star week and participating in the events of that week.
Yeah, I
You
don't
got
know.
your best faces more visible on it.
And Miles, going back to what you said, they make too much money off these jerseys and
Yeah.
merch and everything they do. I don't think they'll go back to just putting the patch on the normal jersey.
But the thing
I
is,
Yeah.
don't,
that's
I don't
why
think they
you
do it.
have to
It'd be
like
cool,
make
but
it hit their
I
It
don't know.
would
bottom
be
line.
cool. Okay, that'd be
I,
cool.
I,
That'd
I
be a cool
like I'm
thing to
looking at
see.
Fanatics right now. A
Mark
lot of these jerseys are sold out or nearly sold out. So
the
they're
market,
selling.
the marketing aspect of it, I think they should go back to their own jerseys. I think that'd be cool to do. But
Good convo.
You got to think one more thing. You got to think about it too. I think one of the advantages of one of the things I like about the NFL is Super Bowl week. Going back to kind of what I was thinking about, Super Bowl week is Super Bowl week, and we don't just see Super Bowl week is kind of the model for what I'm talking about. I think the NBA doesn't really do that during their finals because it's a back and forth. It's not one game; it's a 7-game series, and it's in different cities. It's in 2 different cities, so you're not going to get that same kind of everybody converging upon one place. But the NBA doesn't really have that. They don't have a centralized time that is like a week or longer where people are converging on one place to just showcase and get to know the personalities of different NFL. Like think about all the different interviews and things across all these different channels that the NFL does during the whole week of the Super Bowl starting on Monday or Tuesday. There's so much exposure, so much getting to learn about new players. You see these players everywhere. Players from teams that were bottom feeding teams in the league that same year. You see these players everywhere over a prolonged, and that does so much for the for the general public get to know who these people are, and there's just more eyes on the NFL. The NBA does not have anything approaching that at all because of the model of what their ultimate championship game or series is. It's a series as opposed to a game.
They should use which from what you just said, Jordan. They should use that kind like that's why I'm with you on that All-Star week, that longer break, because that weekend, the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is not enough, bro. Like, it's
And you see the
clearly
product, and it
it's
goes into
clearly not enough,
it
bro.
goes into making the product better overall because you see the players the week of the All-Star game like slacking off.
You can see you have current players. I mean, look at Jameis. Jameis was, even though Jameis is probably a different factor of person. You got him interviewing Saquon, a current player interviewing another player during the whole Super Bowl week, just leading shit up to it,
Yeah,
just
you
giving
see
them
these players on late
avenues to,
night. Yeah, you just see them everywhere, bro. It's so much
because they got,
content you see online from every TV station, the social media. You just see the players
yeah.
and the coaches. You see them everywhere from every team almost.
Because some of these NBA players got podcasts. I mean, they can use their podcast during All-Star week or weekend
Exactly. They
to
really
do
got
the
to
same
think
thing.
exactly. They got to think outside the box instead of just trying to do
That's a good point.
patchwork. They could just instead of just trying
Okay.
to that's a great point. So they're just trying to do patchwork. That's the problem. They keep trying to do patchwork. They got to think outside
It's
the
a catch
box.
up. None of that should be pre-planned. They should if I would like, let's for example, Draymond or Jeff Teague or Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. They should have shit lined up to where, all right, All-Star weekend is coming. We're gonna be in San Francisco. We're gonna have
Hmm
this player, this player, this player, this player
So
the
all
whole
these other shows
weekend.
do for NFL.
Like, come on, bro. They should. That's the shit. That's where the NFL, instead of
I
them
thought they
go,
did player interviews though. They
But
do.
it's not the
it's not to the length
It's
that the
not
NFL does
promoted.
it
not
It's
though.
the
not promoted the
same.
same
Yeah,
way.
Like Super Bowl weeks feels like a whole NFL showcase culminating
What's good,
in
Andrew?
the Super
Like, did
Bowl.
you see? But I also think,
But it's
like,
also a game that means something. Like I
No,
yeah,
when
no,
you
that's
yeah.
get to the
true.
Super
That's why I
That's
say it's
Bowl,
not
true.
gonna be
That's
apples
true.
to apples. But
I'm I,
there's things you can take from that model.
I'm saying, do you think that? Well, clearly you do because you're suggesting it. I just don't know if I think
I think
it'll
it's a
really
better
change
try than
anything.
what they're doing. Like they've tried. Like
So much shit.
I think
Why
they're
not
just
try
spinning their wheels
this?
trying stupid shit
Why
as
not
opposed
try
to trying
this?
like an actual something actually different. They've been trying stuff that they think is different that when you really look at it, this shit ain't different because it's not getting at the crux of why people aren't watching. So like you can change you can have a different format, but if people are already pre-programmed to they changing this shit again, I'm not watching that shit, then they're not even gonna be there to
I
consume your
mean,
different format.
but and that's why I was saying like I'm not sure if that's a fix either, because I think all in all, people step away for the people who do watch. They
Mhm.
step away. They say it wasn't good. Doesn't change anything. The people who were interested still aren't going to be interested. So having more interesting things be a part of the weekend, I think, yeah, that'll be cool. And you can say, oh, I like this touch, that touch, whatever. But if the dunk contest, if a game, if
Oh
those two
yeah.
things aren't good, 9 times out of 10, people are going to walk away
Oh,
from it and
absolutely.
still be like, oh, I don't need
Absolutely.
to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's just the other I think that I was just speaking on the other aspect that I would change all like I think all of this needs to change. I think it's not just what I was speaking on with that. I think it's that and in addition to I'm more so speaking towards sustainability of if we can get back to a point where people were interested at one point, but we saw the downturn from that point. I'm
When do you
speaking more
think
so when I
people
speak about
started being disinterested?
you said what?
I said, I think we should identify when we feel like it fell off.
I think it's just I think it I think they didn't
Good, Tez.
do I think it is the players. I think it's the individual players. I think these guys aren't as interesting, but I don't think that the NBA has per se done a good job of even trying to maximize the guys that are interesting, that could be the most interesting of maybe an uninteresting bunch.
Hmm.
Like you got to get the most out of what you got. Like you got who you got. You got to try to still. You can't say, well, we don't got MJ or Brown. We just not gonna put anything into marketing, or we're not gonna put anything into doing things that could expose the best of what we do have to the general public. That seems like what they've done.
All right.
Can I add one thing? 'Cause I've been just sitting back listening to the convo.
Yeah.
I do think, like specifically the All Star game, I think there's like actual improvement that could be made that like to me drastically changes like the format and how people perceive it. I had this like I went through a lot of like the older dunk contests. I think a part of it, and I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but I think we're spoiled in terms of like dunk per se. As like if you go watch, I don't know, a dunk contest in like the '92, you'll be very much like in your seat still. Where like I do think like the shit that Zach and Aaron Gordon did kind of like changed how people perceive dunks. Because even like with the NBA getting Mac McClung, I thought they thought in their mind they're like a social media star. He's been viral since high school for his dunks, being a white boy that can dunk. Let's try to use his viral. No one else is doing it since he's so viral of dunking. One of them being because he's white. Let's try to see if that'll result in like more people watching or more people giving a fuck, which I don't think it did. But I also think we're in a situation where like a lot of us we watch dunks nowadays, like, and we're kind of just like desensitized to a lot of dunks that like before people weren't. Like, and I'm being honest, like I do think like adding stars would help, but I also think we're desensitized to a lot of the dunks that we even see nowadays. A lot of people just look at motherfucker do regular like a windmill or East Band, and people are just like, oh, okay, like it's not as crazy as it was before. So I don't know. I think that's an interesting aspect that people like don't look at when it comes to the dunk contest.
What's the overall aspect you said again? Because I'm hearing you, but I heard everything you said for the most part. What was the main thing you said?
I was just saying that like people are like desensitized to dunks as well, though. Like for example, a lot of the stuff that flew in the '86 dunk contest or the '92 or even 2004, people will look at as mid today. Like and objectively, these are still hard dunks, still athletic plays, but people still will look at those plays as mid to me because we're like desensitized and we expect so much. I think is a part of the issue.
I don't think you're crazy for that, but I mean, as recent as 2020, we had a good dunk contest. So I think a bit of this is what Miles and Jordan have said with, hey, you just have down years, and that's part of it. I guess this is extended longer, and I think the fact that we don't have, I think the league is losing some guys who are just showing up when they get there too. That's another thing. Like,
Real
we
niggas.
never
He's
talk
just
about
liking real niggas, bro.
when niggas go through the dunk contest. But that Jalen Green dunk contest could have been hard if he had fucking made his dunks.
Oh
So,
yeah,
I think that's the
yeah. I
other
forgot
part.
about that. Who was in that dunk contest again? I forgot about that.
I don't remember everybody who's in that.
Shout out Jalen Green for but Nick, we need niggas
That's
like
the
that
Cade
though.
Anthony one?
Young, high
Right.
flying.
Yeah, I think Anthony Thomas won that one, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Yeah,
But
shout out to
I
Jalen
could be
Green for being in
wrong.
that.
But yeah, that's the other thing. Like,
I forgot
niggas,
about that.
because obviously we need more Jalen Greens to participate.
Yeah.
Whatnot, but also, when you get there, you gotta show up. And he didn't show up. It was another big goofy nigga who put on a cape, tried to jump over a plane, clip the plane. Y'all remember that shit?
Is that the same dunk contest you talking about?
Yeah, that was John
I don't
Collins,
know if
right?
it's the same.
That was John Collins, wasn't it?
You said it was Zach Collins?
John Collins.
Oh, John Collins. It was John Collins. I don't
That
think
was
it
the
was the same.
2022.
But yeah, like, that shit,
No,
like,
but one
it's
of my
just
questions.
execution too. A big part of it.
Oh yeah, that's the one with Obi Toppin.
One of my questions
I will say, Wes, I guess the error for margin is super small compared to any other game when it comes to the dunk contest because you do have 3 attempts. Like your margin is a lot smaller than like an all-star game, a 3-point contest because there's multiple rounds. Like I guess yeah, you can work on something all week. You don't fucking execute. It still looks like we don't give a fuck.
Right.
My one of the things I was gonna ask before we transition, was do y'all think they're similar to Jalen, right? Do y'all think they're scared to make a fool of themselves, not complete dunks, not look that good, or they just want to keep things for like in-game hype and things like that? Do y'all think they'll be?
They might not want to get hurt.
I think some of them just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, some of them might not, but this might not give a fuck though. Yeah.
I think getting hurt is a part for some people. I think getting embarrassed
is a big part.
I think that played a part for like Bron 1000%. It's he didn't do this shit because he didn't want to lose. He didn't want to falter, and it's fair.
Yeah.
But that I think everyone's not built like that. But I think that was a big part for him. Obviously, I think Josh just doesn't give a fuck. I think Zion is helped, and I'm not sure his organization will allow him to do it. Like I really feel like maybe they didn't write it in there, so because I think everybody if that came out, hey, it's in his contract that he can't participate.
You can write it in there without writing it in there.
Yeah, like shit like that. But
And nigga can't
I wouldn't be
participate in that.
surprised if they told him, "Yo, we can't allow you to do this. Like it's too dangerous for you." And boom, 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 stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I think it'll be good again at some point. We'll get a good year or 2 or 3, but it's gonna, have some real duds. And I think just recently, I think the level of dud has been alarming to people. I think
Mhm.
to Jordan's point, along with all the changes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you
What
start making changes and they're not effective, it feels like 10 times worse.
And I think you got to do something when it does get back good. You have to do something. I think the NBA has to do a good job of marketing, or I don't know if it's marketing or of the people that do well when it does good,
Highlighting what's good. It's marketing.
because then that's gonna make other guys be like, oh, hey, look, when this guy went to the dunk contest, he did this, and they popped, they're
they
gonna
got
have
this?
to.
They got this nigga on Jimmy Kimmel for winning the dunk contest. Shit, I might as
Well,
well do this
yeah,
bitch.
not just that, but like it could be marketing. It could be things that lead to dollars. Because at the end of the day, it's going to end up being dollars. And like, how does it? Well, for a lot of guys, it's going to be how does it end up positively impacting me professionally? So if they see examples of guys who went there and that was a direct result of impacting them positively professionally, then it's going to be like, okay, that might be a good incentive for me to go do that. I think I can win, and what could come from that?
But I do think, and this is the only reason I say people are desensitized. I do think like a part of why people are scared to get embarrassed is like you have to really prepare because a lot of the shit that like motherfuckers are going to think to do has already been done. So you have to be more creative on top of that, and I think that scares a lot of players.
What you can't do if you got 3 days or 2 days, the dunk contest is 2 days after your last game, the most previous game that you played.
Yep. Yep. That's that good convo. Honestly, this is, in my opinion, a great start to the show today. I'm going to try to continue to have warm-up questions throughout the show to get the show started, so we just not straight jumping into action. And some things can make the show go on and on and on. We are 2 hours in, and we didn't even start with NBA games. So that's a plus in my eyes. So what was that? Some football talks, NFL, Aaron Rodgers, Eagles, etc. How would you better All-Star weekend?
Real quick, Lucas told me last night. I missed that segment. I bet I don't know why. I thought he could get 20, but he ended up being in foul trouble. He was the only leg on my 6 leg that didn't clear. Luka 20.
Hey, LeBron and the Lakers sold me. Nigga didn't win the game, and then
Bro,
I didn't even know DFS. I didn't know DFS and Gabe was out. To be honest, I didn't even know that.
Byron
They told you. Yeah,
They said
I told you he was going to troll. Byron told you they expect a double-digit loss. I don't know what this.
Yeah, I didn't know. But either way, Bron didn't get 20 regardless, so it didn't really matter. Shit go hand in hand. Even with them losing, Bron didn't get 20.
Oh, it's Bron 20.
Did Reeves score 20?
No, I Reeves scored like 15. I took him 15 plus. Luka had 16.
Reeves was bad. Rui was still good though.
He was bad from the field. Yeah. I took Reeves for 15. He got 15 on the dot, I think.
This is a quick pit stop. I am not gambling tonight though. For definitely not gambling tonight. Quick pit stop. College basketball was no real action last night. Just really quick before we get to the NBA. Just try highlighting Cooper Flag. They played California. Said they were gonna blow them out. Don't know if they recovered the spread or not. Did they cover the spread? They did not cover the spread. Cooper Flag had 27 points last night. St. John's lost to Villanova. Shout out to Villanova for getting that win over St. John's. We've been playing good basketball this year. Texas Tech almost sold to Arizona State. They ended up getting the win in double overtime. Ole Miss beat South Carolina in a good one. Missouri bounced back win for them. Big win over Oklahoma. Iowa took care of business against Rutgers. And that literally was it. It was nothing to highlight in college basketball yesterday. And Arkansas should have won. Yeah, Arkansas beat Louisville 70-20. Then Big Z had 25. Big Z hooping, man. Can't believe my dog left Kentucky, man. He hooping. That's back-to-back 25-point games for him. 27 against Alabama and 25 against LSU. That's big. Shout out to Big Z. We got Maryland versus Nebraska tonight as far as top 25 ranked teams. And then we also have Memphis versus USF tonight as well. So any college basketball fans, if you want to tap into something real quick, that's something that you can tap into. With that being said, I do truly appreciate all the support on YouTube today. It was, and appreciate the ones that came through to the YouTube, tapped into the show, liked the video, the whole 9. Still got to continue to make playback involved. Playback involved and being utilized outside of just watch parties. So with that being said, we are going to, again, if my shit is lagging and connecting up and all, it's going to blow me. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to throw me off. So I might get up out of there. But we're going to head to playback, and hopefully it's smooth. Hopefully it's chill. Hopefully it's no issues. And with that being said, it's playback.tv/facts and stats. It's playback.tv/facts. He said, fuck up. Playback.tv/facts and stats is where the NBA talks are going to move to. I'll see y'all in playback right now. The link is in the description on this video to join the playback room. Excuse me. The link is in the description on this video to join the playback room. It's playback.tv/facts and stats. Would love for you all to join the Facts and Stats playback room and be a part of the community for the NBA talks or just talks in general. And more importantly, the watch party just every single night. Again, that's playback.tv/facts and stats. Thank y'all for the support on the YouTube side. I'll see y'all in playback. Get better internet. I'll see y'all on the playback side right now. Thank y'all. Playback.tv/facts and stats. Pull up.